Right, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Kanpai Cast. So, I am MDRLOz, and magically, some sort of things will appear with our names. Yes,
sure
I am
will.
MDRLOz. This is Xenogelion over here, and below me on the screen you have Nasuth. And we're again going to talk probably about, I say we run for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, about some anime. What's going on with some anime? I think this week we are going to be talking about the current season. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool.
We're doing our 3-episode rule.
Yep, the 3-episode rule. So if anyone doesn't know what that means for this episode, so when watching a new show, we have a policy. And that is you can't judge a show by just watching one episode of it. 2 episodes, yeah, maybe you can starting to get a view, but the 3 episodes gives enough time for any show, a reasonable amount of time to outline what it wants to do. Maybe at the first 3 episodes it gives you a bit of bait and switch and then gets on to the main story. And after 3 episodes, it's the point where you can make a good decision. Are you enjoying this? Should you watch it? Should you not watch it? And this is what we're on this week. So if you haven't caught up with this season of anime that we're currently on, which is Winter 2022, this is a good episode to start watching because you can watch it and then see what our opinions are, and then you can think, I think that's a good time to jump on that show, and oh yeah, I agree, I don't like that show. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to this big form of things, which I have to read out today because it is my elected job of the turn. So starting with, I assume that says housekeeping, but someone's highlighted it, so I assume it just says housekeeping. If you're a supporter watching this on early access, the timestamps may not be ready yet. But for everyone watching at the normal time, you can navigate to any section you want using the timestamp or chapter feature. And I'll point this out every time I'm the one who gets to talk it out. If you don't know how to make the sort of cool chaptery doodad appear, down when it's not maximized, just down a bit below Nasuth, on to the left a bit, there's a little thing for name of like what section we're on. You click that, this whole section on the right will appear. It's brilliant. YouTube hides it away. Right. Also, Xeno and Nasuth have increased the number of memes from 3 to a maximum of 6. That's the kind of expansion, technical workout. That's taken time. They had to mine the memes, press them, squeeze them, format them, and then also find a way to fit that many more into the show, because it's a very technical process. Too many memes, and you have like a meme singularity. Very important. So it has become increasingly difficult to choose. Oh, the reason why is because it's become increasingly difficult to choose from the sheer magnitude of awesome memes, and thus they are greedy and have taken more. This week they've brought 5 a piece, I assume.
Yes, yeah.
Not just 5 as in. Yeah,
I brought 2, Xeno brought 3.
Right. Well, okay, so that's the housekeeping over. It says Nasuth news this week. Is that Nasuth news in Nasuth's life this week?
It's a new anime show.
Yes.
We've currently just had the 4th. No.
So we've gained funding, have we? It'll be day in the life of Nasuth.
Crowdfunded.
Slice of life, isekai, giant robot, magical girl show.
Based on the manga, of course.
Yeah.
Good. I
Gotta
like
get
to
those
hear
rumors
that.
in there.
No, we do have some news this week though. Anime YouTubers Totally Not Mark and Suede. I actually only know Suede. Were targeted by Toei and Showpro, which is not an acronym, but a shortening of the actual name that I can't remember. Mark received 150 claims from Toei in December, but has just announced he's reached an agreement to have them blocked in Japan. Toei will have to argue its case in other countries based on their laws, a feature they plan to roll out for more YouTubers in the future. So, for once, YouTube's actually helping out YouTubers with copyright stuff.
Interesting. So, just before you continue, so you say Totally Not Mark, and the other one is Suede, yeah? Those are 2 separate YouTubers.
Yes.
And what would you say their content, why have they been hit? What is their content?
So, if memory serves, Totally Not Mark does a lot of like and reviews using like lots of stills, very similar to the format that we have. I heard this back in December, and yeah, I was quite surprised. But it was specifically Toei that targeted him, like no other studios did.
So we're not talking footage here, just stills.
Just stills.
Use of stills in the footage, yeah. And like it was like his entire channel's content.
Yeah, but it's stills.
Yeah.
How is that?
Do you know that GIFs you cannot copyright claim? You can. So if someone took a movie and put it in a GIF, you cannot claim copyright on a GIF.
Is there a maximum limit?
Interesting.
On it or something?
No, it's because the video quality has been deemed so bad that it doesn't.
It's so compressed and small and everything.
It wouldn't subtract from the revenue of the actual sales of the final product.
But that's because that's the key thing. You have to show that it affects sales. How is showing stills on YouTube videos?
I haven't got a clue.
My word. Okay, cool. Right. I see why YouTube's defending this one. They're like, you idiots. Right, okay, move
Yes. Meanwhile, Suede was targeted directly by ShowPro rather than going through the YouTube claim system. So they've bypassed YouTube's ability to file a counterclaim, which, I mean, unfortunately, it costs a lot to defend yourself against one of these, especially in another country. So unfortunately, Suede says he's going to be deleting his channel in 3 months just to kind of avoid the whole problem. Which is
Suede.
He is English, I believe. Some form of English.
Really?
Or is he Australian? It's been a while since I've watched him.
So what about Suede's channel? Is that again stills? Or is that
he does a lot of different reviews. I know he used to use video. Apparently he did some kind of Pokemon series that after I stopped watching him. So I couldn't really tell you, unfortunately.
Okay, cool.
It's really weird that this company, this Japanese company, is able to go after this. I assume ShowPro is Japanese.
Yes, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. I could look up the news again, but it's a whole name.
So if he's like a non-Japanese resident, sorry, not a non-Japan resident rather. It's really weird that they're able to go after him so directly through, like, if you got a cease and desist in like the UK from a company in Japan, you have no legal representation in the UK. You can't do this, right? Sure, take me to court. You're gonna get laughed out of it, right? I won't need to buy you. You can pay for my legal defense. But yeah, it's like I'm honestly shocked. Maybe my understanding of law is just wrong, but
how many subscribers do these two channels have?
Suede was pretty big.
I can find out.
Not super big, but he was during the that guy with the glasses, that whole Channel Awesome thing. He was part of that for a while until it kind of fell apart. So I mean, he was moderately sized at least.
I mean, unless
21,000.
Yeah.
And let's find out. Totally not Mark. 709,000.
Jeez.
That's getting reasonable numbers, I guess. I'm shocked. I don't get it. I think there's more to it, but we'll have to look into that and get back to them. Right. Move to the next point.
Right. So Japanese publishers Kodansha, Shueisha, Shoka, Gukan, and Kadokawa, who we all know and love, have filed suit against Cloudflare, claiming the policy of only requiring an email address for a free account promotes pirate sites and infringes on their copyright. They're seeking about 460 million yen, or about 4 million US in damages.
Wow.
Good luck. Good luck, boys. Good luck.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Right?
I agree.
It's like, you can't put the website on there directly, right? You have to host it somewhere else. And all you have to do is just say, hey, Cloudflare, this website.
Give me a URL.
It's hosting pirated content.
Oh,
where can I pull it from? That's it, right? You just gotta find the source, and I'm pretty sure.
But then they just sign up for a new one with their fake email. It's not because Cloudflare doesn't require anything. Yeah, so I assume that's their.
Even if they had non pirated detail, they're still gonna fucking get this is Bob Bobson. He lives in
Moon.
The Moon.
Yeah.
on some street, and his phone number is 0123456.
018899543682193.
Oh my god, I can't believe you have that memorized.
873. No, I got about the first half, then I kept going. I got the first half right.
But yeah,
I do want to remember that number though.
It's just like it's crazy. So it just feels like we just want to target this company because they can pay the $4 million.
I see. The thing is that gets me is that I don't get why anime companies don't take the Steam approach. Like, if nobody would pirate anything if there was a decent website that hosted things pretty quickly with good, as fast as they were up in Japan, get officially translations, get them up on the website within a day, and make me charge a simple fee for it. I'd be paying that.
You mean like Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. I'm tempted to start watching Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll's close, but it doesn't have everything. That's the problem.
The only thing
Crunchymation. It's Crunchymation now, since they merged with Funimation.
The only thing that I'm more quite interested in with Crunchyroll is what do they do about censorship and uncensorship, right? Do they provide the uncensored versions of shows like High School Double D, right? Or is it no, you can only have the censored version? And the thing with Funimation, I don't think you can access Funimation in the UK without a VPN.
Yeah, it's things like that. It just can't. Seriously, have you ever since Steam came along? I mean, I don't know if you did beforehand. Have you ever been tempted to pirate a game, or just be like, I'll just get it through Steam?
I will pirate a game if I'm not sure about it, and then if I end up liking it, I will buy it.
Yes, the answer is yes, because of I can't remember its name. It's one anti-piracy software that's known for destroying SSDs. What the damn heck is it called? I can't remember what it's fucking called. Sonic Mania has it, and I was like, I'll buy it, but I'm going to get a pirated copy because I don't want it destroying my hard drive.
I see what you mean. I know, I get what you mean. But you could but apart from that, which is just that's the software having some stupid thing. Apart from that, do you support Steam as a good platform? Just go, hey, I'll get on Steam.
Oh yeah.
Epic. Even Epic's actually getting pretty good. So it's just like, because there's a better legal,
their interface sucks. They just give away free games.
Way
that's
of legally doing it. You just do it that way.
Yeah.
We got just a couple pieces of news left. Production has officially begun on the Netflix live-action adaptation of One Piece. We all live in fear. We all just cowering in our boots.
Gun.
Yeah.
Could this be a contender for
best Netflix adaptation? Yeah,
it could be.
But yes, yeah.
If it does take the throne, then this will be a sign of the end times.
Yeah, clearly.
And finally, Otakon 2022, which takes place on July 29th through the 31st in Washington, D.C., will require attendees to be fully vaccinated and also wear masks in the convention areas. This is a change from last year where they really only required the masks, and is likely a result of the recent citywide mandate that people entering must be vaccinated. So DC has gone full vaccine.
It's going to be the last year of it. Trust me. Next year, no one's going to give a damn.
Yeah, I believe so.
Soon. Anyway, that is it for the news of the week. Thank you very much, Nasuth. Some good stuff there. Some really interesting. Right, let's move on to what we're talking about this week then. So, we have got a lot of shows to go through. We're probably going to alternate between us. Everyone's going to introduce them, and then you can all watch some hopefully pretty pictures that we have got from the show while we're chatting about them. So I'm going to like Nasuth to start this week.
Oh, really?
I am. What is that?
Oh my god, who put SOS in here?
No,
that's the Tokyo or Godzilla one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the default. Yeah. So you just need to set it to the full thing. So just pick your show.
Oh, right, because it's my first turn. Jeez, what shows do I have?
I threw him off guard with my simple planning.
Let's
just click a thing then. Click a random picture and we'll go with whoever's that is.
Let's do Saiyuki Reload, ZEROIN, which
That's Rusted Dawn. That's Rusted Armor.
Oh, that is Rusted Armor. Yes, let's do Rusted Armor is what I meant to say. Shush your face. It's hard keeping these all straight.
Nasuth.
It's hard keeping all these terrible episodes straight. So yeah, they as you can see, they use really bad, really awful CGI in this one. Like, these stills don't really do it justice. It's so much worse than any other CGI show I've watched so far. The backgrounds are bland and feature no details. The characters are really kind of just throwaways. They pay very, very light lip service to the period they're in. They're in the Warring States period, where there are warlords fighting each other. The last feudal system just disintegrated, and our heroes are protecting a village from the warlords. They're like, oh, we want to be free and independent. And then the Spaniards come in. This is a Spaniard right here on screen right now.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's a Spaniard. That's a conquistador.
Isn't that a demon?
No, it's a Spaniard.
Why does the conquistador have a fucking bull helmet? Sorry, Loz.
I'm very that's a Spaniard, all right. Yep, I identify that as a Spaniard.
The idea sounds really cool, right? We've got this slightly alternate world where instead of the armors, the rusted armors that they're using, are essentially technology that should not exist in this period. Like, one of them has a Gatling gun on his arm, one of them has a sword made out of really high quality steel, etc., etc. And then the Spaniards come in and just wreck them all. Yeah. So what I found out about this is the reason the backgrounds are like that is because it's based on what they call a 2.5D stage production, which is essentially they take an anime or a manga or a video game, whatever, and they adapt it to a stage production, generally with musicals in them as well. And so these are literally backdrops. These are literally supposed to be stage backdrops, which is why they look so bad. But that doesn't that doesn't save it. Every frame makes you want to look away from this show. So no matter what else they do, it's a vaguely interesting concept. I'd like to see more of it, but I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't.
So how long did you watch before it made you physically sick?
Oh gosh, was it? I know one of them I only made it through 2 episodes. Yeah, this is the one. I couldn't make it past episode. I finished the first 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm not watching anymore. I gave that one a big pass.
Right. So is there anything more you want to say about this, or we'll just move on to something more interesting?
I just want to say, I watched literally 5 seconds of the intro, the very first 5 seconds. I couldn't get past that. I literally turned it off. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't bring myself to watch this.
I have a high tolerance for pain. No, I mean, unless you have any questions, I think I've said pretty much all that needs to be said about it. Don't avoid this at all costs unless you can stand really bad CGI.
I do have a question. Right. Is there any value to the name Rusted Armor? Or is it just... Oh, that's just the stupid name that we gave them because we're stupid. Because I wouldn't have thought an armor of rusted iron would be a particularly good idea.
Yeah, right? No, but the armors are refer to their weapons that are, above the current technological level. I don't know why they're called armors. Maybe they'll get into it later in the show. Maybe they got into it in the stage play. I don't know.
Wait, the weapon's called an armor?
Yes, the weapon is called an armor. Don't ask me. I don't know.
I think we need to link these people the Wikipedia article.
I don't know why it's called rusted armor. I don't, because they just refer to them as armors in the show. Maybe they get defeated and they lose their weapons for a while and they have to go find them again. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not going to find out.
Seeing as I know we got a lot to go through, is there actually any positives you want to say about this? Otherwise, I don't think there's... And seeing as you've already dropped after 2 episodes, I don't think there's much point wasting time going, oh, what did
Fair.
I think maybe move on because
No, it's really just even if the animation was
feels
better,
so bad.
it's just kind of bland, shonen.
I mean, you've
type
leveled it
stuff.
past, so
Yeah.
it's not like trying. Well, why are they calling it that? It's like this is clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to go
Find
next?
something else.
Okay, so I'm going next, apparently.
Yes, you are.
Right, I'm gonna go with Girls Frontline. Loz is in.
Frontline.
No, I
Forget it.
do want to watch this. I just haven't managed to. Just the time. You know me. I've been busy recently. Looks
So it does, right? So the Girls Frontline is a really interesting series. It's based off a mobile game called Dolls Frontline, and the idea is the setting is after, I think it's World War III or during World War III. They stopped using trained soldiers, started using these androids, otherwise known as dolls, to do all the fighting. And I cannot remember for the love nor money of the opposing faction's name. It begins with an S. I'd recognize it if I saw it, but regardless, they have like a lot of future-based technologies with arming their dolls. They got like laser cannons and all sorts of weird and wonderful shit. You'll see some of the images in this, but we are seeing a team of dolls that are like the good guys that are part of, is it Griffin? And it's very much a case of like you are seeing what would happen in the narrative when the main character is not played by an actual player. It's like, so they sort of like ad-lib the main character's plot. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it looks very pretty. I actually really like the first episode. The action in the first episode,
Before you move on to the context, so the thing is, the girls are mostly a lot of them are mass produced, and each variant of a girl is based on a rifle.
That's not true.
Well, the main of them are. That's how the games run.
The main four are, right?
No, there's lots. A lot of them are. There's a whole. You can watch that. That's how the game works. Is that each girl is based off a gun. I'm not sure how much the show is, but that's like when you saw.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No, you're right.
Yeah.
What I remember picking up on it, that the main four use the guns of their namesake, whereas the other characters, they have their names as guns, but they don't actually use the guns of their namesake. You are 100% sorry. I got that.
But like, for instance, there was a scene there, which is from the first episode, because they watch it, where you see the main characters watching a group of girls. They seem to be walking around, I don't know, aimless or something. They were going to help them, but they got their mission to do. And you might think, hey, they all look the same. It is because some of them are mass produced. So you'll get like certain girl of a gun name, and they are supposed to be using their gun, even if they're not. I'm not sure they are. That it's like the same girl multiple times. Sometimes you only see one of a certain girl, but then so each girl is supposed to be like a representation based on a gun.
Yeah. The animation on this looks lovely. This is very much, I think, if you enjoy Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex, you will have some draw to this because of the whole androids, the cybernetics and things.
See, sorry, just point out, there you go. You can see there's like very similar looking ones because they are clones, or actually I don't think it's so, but just copies of the same gun.
Well, actually, in later episodes, they actually make copies of the same doll. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so we have the main one, but now we're going to make copies of that main one to go fight in a battle.
Right.
So I think that's like the second episode. But anyway, so if you like Ghost in the Shell, I think you'll enjoy this. We have our main commander, the one that's on this side of the view screen, and that's MP5, who doesn't use an MP5 in the slightest.
Really?
It's like, like her name's MP5, but she doesn't use an MP5. She uses no, that's an assault rifle of some kind. It's not a submachine gun in the slightest. Yeah. So anyway, that's besides the point. I'm enjoying this, but can we scroll up to look at the gradings for a quick second, because I can't actually remember. I will say that this is an acquired taste. I think this could fall off, but I haven't. I've only watched the first 3 episodes. I didn't get around to watching the fourth one yet.
We actually didn't explain. So just so everyone knows, from now on this point at 3 episodes, we've introduced a rating system. How we're grading each of these ones we're going to watch. It's just 4-point system scale. Starts with a pass, as in the bottom, as in we like just had Nasuth in his last episode. Just don't. We think it's not even worth not paying any attention to.
Yeah.
Then the one above that is nothing special, as in it's just, there's a lot of anime that's like this, and if you enjoy it, that's great, but there's nothing really groundbreaking or anything there. Acquired taste, something that has a bit of unique. It could be unique artwork, a unique concept, unique premise, interesting way the characters are acting, but most people might not like it, so give it a go. The individual of us 3 who says that might enjoy it, but it might not be for everyone. And then the highest one is must watch. This is like creme de la creme. Everyone, this is going to be a important thing from years from Rom. You're still going to talk about this show maybe, or it could be really cool and interesting. Do give this a watch. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. So yeah, 1 being the best, 4 being the worst. And so Xeno, what did you say for this one?
2. So acquired taste.
So what do you think most people might not like about it?
I think that the narrative is a bit weak. By the end of episode 3, it's just like, I still don't know what's going on. There was a really important mission to get some data, and they still haven't delivered the data, and what the fuck. And it that's about it, really. It just feels, it's pretty, but it's not really going a mile a minute.
Does it seem like it's mostly a reason to look at girls in uniforms?
No, actually, the thing that I think looks gorgeous is displayed right here. That artificial hand is gorgeous, right? And the main 4 have these really well articulated, really well detailed hands. Like a lot of the stuff you see these days, they wouldn't have the knuckles on there. They wouldn't have the joints.
So my question is going to be: do you feel, because my gold mark standard for it is Cry of Bahamut, which was just I think probably a gacha game as well, but didn't deserve to be this good. I've really enjoyed that. Would you say this show is just being a cash-in, or would you say it's actually trying to do something interesting? Obviously, visually, you're saying it is, because maybe it just had the money thrown at it, though. Do you feel this has potential of a show of itself and is not just relying on its popularity as a gacha game?
So it could become something special, or it could just be bland, and then ultimately I'll just drop it. I honestly don't know. I would have thought by episode 3 I would know, but it's like too many animes these days where you watch it all the way up until the end and they just fucking ruin it. So, but I say this is an taste.
Okay, there we go. And Nasuth, got anything else to say?
So you said it was it if you liked Standalone Complex, you might like this. Does it explore any of the I know you've only seen 3 episodes. Does it explore any themes, like what it means to be a person?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. I think that's the only question I had.
Cool. Let's move on to Loz's first one.
Loz. What do you want to watch? What do you want to listen to? Talk about.
Can I have Love of Kill?
Yes.
If I can.
Now, I think at time watching,
right,
5th episode must almost be out on this, but I have watched 3 episodes of this. I think the 4th episode is out at the time of recording. I just had a chance to watch it, but I've watched 3 episodes of this show, and I'm not even going to beat around the bush. This, in my opinion, is somewhere between a 2 and a 3. I'm not sure. Probably more leaning at a 3, that nothing special at this point. It's trying to be an acquired taste, but it is just, this is after 3 episodes, no, in fact, I'm gonna give it a 3 for a reason. So it's something I remember, something's gonna drop it down to a 3, so nothing special. This is a classroom textbook example of dragging your feet. It really is. So let's talk about the setting. From what I understand of the setting, so in the setting, it's focusing on bounty hunters, that people their bounties get put out by people, and there's a lot of mini organizations out there that will do bounty hunting for people. I think it doesn't seem to involve the police at all. So it seems like anyone can almost bounty hunt anyone for any reason as long as they've committed some form of crime. And then you can go collect that person and then take them somewhere. You don't really see them handing in over the people, and you see that they're getting jobs over the phone. So it's not really quite clear what's going on. The focus is on two main characters here. We have our main male protagonist here, who is, again, feet dragging. Nothing is explained after 3 episodes, really. He seems to have committed some form of crimes for some reasons, but maybe he was in a company that he was being lifted up to management or something in that company, but then he kills his boss for some reason. It really isn't explained very well.
I got the impression that it was a criminal organization, but I don't actually know that. I don't know that.
Yeah, but you never saw them do anything criminal.
Yeah.
It might have been. It was like maybe they were just shady. It's so unclear. But they're in the toilets that look rather nice for a shady company. It's very weird. Anyway, he's now almost like super criminal #1 out there. Everyone's trying to go for him. And in one of his chance encounters, he comes into contact with our female protagonist #1. And for some reason that is, again, not very well explained, he just finds her interesting. And she is... I know it's
old,
probably a bit
distant,
of a meme. Plank. She is a plank at this point. She seems to have a backstory, as you can see with this image here, is alluding. She has something to do with a family that maybe she's lost. And look how cute she is there holding that little bit bunny, and she's still got her same plank-esque expression on her face. Anyway, she is a bounty hunter, but again, we don't even know how good a bounty hunter she is, because her first interaction we see is with our criminal mastermind #1, and then after that he starts helping her with her bounties. So he starts, basically lining up the dominoes, so she just goes to places and collects bounties that she's after and things, because he's helping her for some reason. The only thing he says is that she smells nice. It's so weird. She is again, as I say, a plank. She refuses to interact with anyone in any meaningful way, and it just becomes frustrating. By episode 3, so then she obviously gets tangled in his web of whatever. People come after him, and she gets caught in the crossfire, and what's going on? Who's going what? The secrets and things. And oh god, her ability to express anything or react is just annoying. She never picks up the phone. When she does, she doesn't answer people. He asks her direct questions all the time. She refuses to answer them. It's just so frustrating. It's like just watching. For him, it's like I don't understand the appeal she has to him. And for her, it's like you can emote, you can say words. Maybe there's some cool secret story this is going to get to, but so far it is doing a bad job hinting at it, more than just she has some form of trauma. She lost someone, and so she's closed off and bounty hunting, and he's just like super cool, ultimate assassin-y guy and fell in with the wrong crowd or annoyed the wrong assassins or something. That's as far as I go. So, but then it mostly looks okay with some good animation, apart from one character who
has no mouth.
No mouth. In the manga, it is in the manga as well. I have looked. He's an Indian, the character in the show, who is working in Japan as part of her support team. He doesn't have a mouth drawn, and his jaw animates. It moves up and down, and he says things, and he says it in kind of a weird way, which I imagine if you had an Indian trying to speak Japanese, it's probably not his first language, and he says it in a funny way, and that's what I think it's trying to get at. It almost makes him sound robotic from the way the lines are being portrayed, but it feels a bit weird. But just the fact he doesn't have a mouth, but the jaw moves, I have to almost close my eyes every time I see it on screen. It just feels awful. When you've got beautiful shots like this, like really cool detail, look at the light and everything, it can do some really sweet shots, and then you see this character who they just gave up drawing the mouth because the manga's like that. It annoys me every time.
I feel like there's a trope, but I don't remember what it is, because I'm sure I've seen it before. Either way, it is kind of jarring, though.
You're not thinking of the squinty eyes thing, are you?
No.
Don't open their eyes. Okay, just checking.
Although that happens a lot too.
Mm-hmm. So that's how far I've got with it. I will keep going on it. I wouldn't say it's trying. It's got some good animation. Voice acting for the majority is good, and maybe it's going to lead into some interesting intrigue and drama. But at the moment, it's, as I say, dragging its feet and just being really frustrating. I think the female lead is the most annoying character, because you just know she could probably say some lines to move the plot along, but there's so many interactions where she just stands there and just glares at the main character, the main male character, and it's just like, come on. There, you can see that the gentleman on the with the brown hair at the back there doesn't have a mouth, and it's just so frustrating, just so frustrating. But I'm gonna keep watching because I'm hoping it's got deeper stuff.
But currently, it's nothing special.
It is nothing special.
Okay.
I don't want to give this a quiet taste because it hasn't presented anything special. It's trying to be special, but it hasn't got there yet. It's just frustrating.
Laws basically hit all the points I think I had to about it. Although I will say that it feels like they tried to give him the charm of Lupin, but it doesn't work. I don't. Yeah. He's like trying too hard.
Yeah, because you can't get behind his motivation. He is trying to be like this charming, suave, heart of gold villain who's clearly just misunderstood. But at the same time, you're just like,
oh, also this scene is probably the most she emotes in the entire 3 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I have a theory that he killed her father.
At the age of 2.
Yeah, because I don't actually know how old he is, or how old she is, or anything. But that's my theory, and that's going to be the dark, tragic link that's between them.
So I have a question for you. So I've watched 1 and a bit episodes of this. When it came to the whole confession of, I like you because you smell nice, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm just but, so I want to ask, at the end of the first episode, her boss spots them together, and he recognizes, or he's like, oh, that's clearly the bad guy and my employee, and
no. He notices. So they were given an assignment to hunt this guy down, and I think he told her to be careful. And at the end of that, he sees her with him. He's like, "That's the guy."
Yeah, that's the end of episode 1.
Yeah,
and then at the start of episode 2, he basically dismisses it, going, "Oh no, that can't be them. She wouldn't be crazy enough to be with him, so that's clearly not her." Like. Yeah. Does that ever get followed through? Because that's like the dumbest thought process I've ever heard.
Them trying to contact her and berating her is just so annoying. Her phone gets shot, and then she doesn't even... It's like, why didn't you contact us? And she could literally just put her phone on the desk with the bullet through it, but she doesn't. And it's just like, oh, come on. It's like, oh, I want to do it again. Okay, explain yourself. And she doesn't. And she walks out. And it's just so frustrating. She refuses to talk to anyone. It's one of the tropes I hate in anime, when characters could just say lines to just do things and they just don't. Like, hang on, no, you have information in your head that person in front of you, which will move the plot to the next point, because then they will help be understanding, be on your level. Instead, you're just not going to say it for bleh.
Reasons,
Fair.
You know.
Bleh.
Okay, should we move to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. I am gonna do The Missing 8, which is a very strange show. So the episodes are only about 13 minutes long, right?
Oh.
And I've only seen 2. They didn't have the third one out when I checked yesterday. So I'm gonna tentatively say that this is an acquired taste. I don't think it's a must-watch because I don't know enough about it, but I can try and tell you what I do know, right? So this is a planet of androids versus robots, and the androids were like created or gifted or something along those lines by the only human to ever come to this planet, or at least that's what they say. That's the story they know. And they're all named after like music. Like the girl on screen now is Pop. Or Poppy. There's a kid named... her best friend is named Punk. There's a Rafa, which I think is rap. I may be wrong about that. But they wield this power. He gave them this power called the Power of 8, which seems really OP because they can do pretty much anything they want with it. But somehow they're still in this conflict with the robots who don't wield it. Not sure about that bit. Sec. Oh yes, so the art is, although it's gorgeous. I mean, look at these character designs. The art itself is really kind of strange. Like they don't always, they'll open their mouth to talk, but they won't animate the mouth. And sometimes actions are like they jump between one, like they're having their arm out in front of them and then having their arm out to the side. I wrote down that it feels kind of like a living manga in that regard. Like they're trying to animate actual pages. It felt more like a stylistic choice than like we have no budget. But it might be because they have no budget, because it also feels like kind of a low budget experimental sci-fi thing that's why the episodes are only 15 minutes. I don't really know where the story's going to go. There's been mention, along with the human, there's also been mention of a mother and father who guide the androids. They're obviously not human. There's something though, and there seems to be something going on with them because something crashed to the ground. It was like a life pod with possibly had a human in it. And mother said, "No, don't touch it. We'll take care of it." So there's something going on there, but I just don't know enough to really recommend it. So I'm definitely gonna say acquired taste on this one. If you're really into like experimental sci-fi, you're probably gonna like it.
It's good. I'll wait to hear from more though. It seems, as you say, how many minutes per episode?
Like 13. I think the first one's a little longer. I think it's like 20. I initially thought it was going to be different short stories, but so far it seems to be all the same story. There's
yeah. You got any questions, Zena?
Well, okay, I'm interested, but I think I'd rather wait because that shorter duration kind of frustrates me a bit. Like I'd rather, So I think I'll wait for Nasuth's final verdict before I actually go and watch it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Same.
Cool.
But this shot here looks beautiful.
Oh yeah,
it's sci-fi and it looks
really
detailed.
Yeah. They put a lot of detail into these scenes.
Cool. Should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I just wanted to say you've classified this as an acquired taste, yeah?
Yes. Cool. I would not say it's nothing special because it is definitely trying something. It's not just your average sci-fi anime, right?
Okay, cool. Right, well, we'll move on to my next one, which I'm gonna do the strongest sage with the weakest crest.
Ooh. Let's get into some of our isekai for this season. There's not isekai, but no.
The crest of Birdman. Sorry, it's a reference nobody's gonna get.
This one.
Right, this show to me is at the high end, like borderline acquired taste, but like it still has its feet on nothing special, right? The problem with this show is it is very generic fantasy setting where you have an overpowered main protagonist who destroys everything with a mere flick of his wrist, and there's no stakes in this. So I'm gonna give you a setting for this. Tell me if you've heard it before. So we have a fantasy world where the main character is trying to get the next level of crest on it's just a magic sigil.
It's not next level
on his hand.
It's not the next level? I
No,
swear it was.
This is some of the weird things with this show. It really does not explain its system at all. It's got 4 crests, but the crests do not level up. You are born with a crest, and that is your crest for all going. However, the crests have sort of things they're better at and things they're weaker at. And the main premise is the main character was a mage in a time in this world, and he had a crest which he wasn't really happy with. He wanted a different crest, but he still got on with the crest he had and became like one of the most powerful people on the planet. But he felt like with his understanding of magic and what he wanted to do with it, he'd reached the limitation that he could do with the type of crest he had. I think it was more like a creation crest is what he had when he wanted a more attacking crest. So he reset his life into a new body thousands of years later or something, and he randomly rolled the attacking crest or whatever, which is the crest he actually wanted all along. But it was really weird because it keeps saying like he'd reached the limit of his crest, but the crest, everyone gets to the crest at birth. They don't change. Some people have the crest he wanted anyway, and it's so weird. So it seems like you have a crest at birth, and that kind of is like what your pros and cons, what you're good at and what you're bad at, but your body is and your current magic aptitude. But you can do other things. That's where your points are hard set. Maximum to attacking, maximum to creation. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so generic because it sets that up, and then he just flies with it. And as Xeno was saying, he's just so OP. You don't even know what the scales or anything are.
Do they have a bread making crest?
No.
Oh, best bread maker in the world.
They have like creation, like the girl on the right there, I think the blonde, has the old crest that he had, and I think he knows it very well. It's like creation crest. Creation crest, yeah. Crest.
So it's a really, I don't know if the world setting has been properly thought out. It feels to me that the anime is skipping on some light novel world setting like we see with Rising of the Shield Hero or Goblin Slayer, or it's just not properly or Overlord, right? The world setting for is really, really interesting, but they just barely touch upon it in the anime. And I'm wondering if it's a similar case with the Strongest Sage, right? But as I've said, guy's OP as hell. He's resurrected. He's a teenager. He retains his memories. It turns out that his old self was revered as I'm not quite sure if a god or demigod, or they actually say, oh my god, you must have the blessing of so and so. Like, what?
I can't remember if it's god yet, but let's go with absolute mythical legend would definitely fit Bill.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, it's like you must be blessed by Hercules. I'm like, it's that kind of thing, and it's just like, and he's confused because it's like, well, that's who I was, right? Why are you saying this? And so he's almost, his old life was revered as like, this greatest champion. Yeah, this legend. And there were other characters as well. But it's like, so the redeeming quality of this show, and I really want to highlight this show does go a mile a minute, right? It feels like they've taken your bog standard isekai that takes 2 episodes to cover some basic stuff. They shove it in 1 episode. They really do go a mile a minute, right? That is the biggest redeeming quality of this show, and it kind of makes you feel that they can cover more ground with a 13 episode length series. So hopefully you'll actually find a protagonist that might fight the Demon King, as opposed to most of these where they barely get out the door.
Yes, yeah. Now, let's say like Konosuba, which does do interesting things, it doesn't go very fast at all. This one feels bland, but at least it's like, right, we're going to go do this today, and we're going to do that, and in the equivalent of 1 episode where you'd be like, oh no, those are the bad dudes, and we're going to have a fight with them, and like halfway through the fight, we're like, oh my god, are we going to beat them? And then we push and we beat them, and that's 1 episode. This gets that over in half an episode. It does it quite well actually in half an episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the animation is absolutely amazing, but it's not bad. You don't get there was the realist hero that rebuilt the kingdom. The animation in that was awful, right? It's like, the more I think about it, the more I hated it. This isn't that bad, right? It's like this is the promo image. You think, oh yeah, this looks actually quite good. It's not that detailed in the actual show itself. It's not that bad.
No.
I'm firmly on nothing special, but the plot could take this into an acquired taste.
Yeah, the speed, if it goes, because it doesn't go do things in an episode. I feel within the rest of the episodes we've got left, it will cover some cool ground. I doubt it doesn't feel like it wants to slow down, so it will get somewhere.
Yeah,
but I agree with you on your where you've set it. But the one thing I don't, because I was explaining it, it's an all but an isekai, but instead of someone just looked at isekai and went, how can we change it slightly? And instead of being it was a video he played and thus knows well, it was a world he lived in and now he's in the same world thousands of years later. It literally is all but an isekai in name. But the thing that gets me is the name of the show. I'm going to make spoilers for episode 1, but it's so much happens in episode 1. It's no point spoilers here. So the name of this show is The Strongest Age with the Weakest Crest, and why it's called the Weakest Crest is when he reincarnates himself into the new world with the crest he really wanted, that he knows he can do really good things with, because I think it's the attack crest or something he's got now. Everyone says, when he goes to school, which is here, this is all in episode 1, and in episode 1 he does crazy things at this school. Everyone says, you've got the weakest crest, you're not going to be able to achieve much. And it turns out, and literally this is all in episode 1, he discovers in episode 1 that it's actually a conspiracy by the demons who have taken over the school, magic school system, and part of the ruling elite of the town, the city, and they have over thousands of years tricked the humans into, 1, believing that crest to be the weakest crest, and they call it like the dunce crest kind of thing. That's the name of the title. And 2, they've managed to trick the humans into forgetting how to do really good quick casting magic without doing spells, and they have to only use laborious spells, through a whole chant to cast a small fireball.
Yeah, you're talking about chantless spells.
Yeah, so he can chantless magic. He just holds up his hand and fires a fireball. And so in episode 1, he brings this back to the school, and then in the same episode, he then gets put as a challenge against the higher magic school, and reveals that his opponent is a demon, and reveals that the demons have been in a conspiracy to subvert the humans and slowly bring them under their heel by here it is. So because everyone else. They've tricked all the humans into believing this is a bad crest and that chantless casting is not really possible or very rare, and so that when the demons who pretend to be humans, I think they can use chantless casting. Like, oh my god, these are the magical amazing people. They must be the highest of society because they're so good, but they're actually demons in disguise. And literally revealing that, and then he goes I think he doesn't meet the king in the first episode, but before that, because of that, he goes to meet the king. All in episode 1. And I'm like, whoa! That's just
crazy.
Okay, so, but the thing is that my point was it kind of ruins the whole point, the name of the show. It's a bit like Fruit of Evolution from last season, where the Fruit of Evolution was quite quietly forgotten about by episode 2, really, for the most part. And in this one, he's already kind of proved that he has the strongest crest.
The strongest crest.
Yeah. So, it's just, that whole thing about the demons tricking them gets broken away so quickly. It was like, why call it that? That's the name of the show, but
the problem is, the show wouldn't sell, or the light novels wouldn't sell if it was the strongest sage with the strongest crest.
Well, but maybe if there was a longer time before he reveals the demons, he does it so quickly.
Yeah, there's no mistakes in this. This kid is OP as fuck and has the body and the body of a kid and the mentality of a 30-odd-year-old guy who, it's also bland, right? He is a self-insert character where you go, oh man, I would do it like this. It's do you know what I mean? There's nothing to this kid at all.
No, right? he totally is. And then he fights an opponent and it's like, I'm really powerful. Don't worry, I have my anti-powerfulness bubbles, which will destroy your powerfulness spell. Aha! And then it's like, okay, so he's got those. So you see him going to be using those again. And then he fights someone else. He's like, aha, I poisoned you this time with anti-magic poison. It's like, okay, so now that's going to be his thing. Next time, aha, I tricked you and revealed your invisibility using my super speedy I cast a thing on my arm, knowing you would chop off my arm, and I put an analysis spell in my arm and a regenerative one. So I now understand all of your magic because you chopped off my arm. It's like, there's no structure to the skills, and you just can't get a grasp on how strong he is. He does say, if they hit me, they'll kill me, but he just never feels like they're ever going to hit him, because he says, you're not going to hit me now? Because he's like a kid in a playground. I have invincibility.
Kirito.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's approaching Gary Stu, Kirito. Gary Toe.
totally.
Gary Toe.
He is.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Go for it.
This breakneck pace that you've described, where he does all this stuff in the first episode, does it feel like it flows naturally, or does it just feel like things are happening?
Bit of both, really.
Bit of
Like,
both.
It feels like it's paced well enough that you can keep up, but at the same time, it's just like, no, come on. No, don't stop. Come on.
Keep up with us. We're moving on now. We're moving on.
We're holding your hand, right? We're holding your hand. We're leading you through this.
Yeah.
Keep up. You know, do I need to carry you? I'll carry you. We'll keep going.
You better start running. We ain't slowing down for you. You better keep up.
Fuck it. I'm just going to carry you.
Get in the car.
That's obviously a joke. I do say that the pacing is good enough that you can follow what's going. Oh my God, Loz, the sword bit at the start is in the first. We completely forgot about that part.
Yep. Oh, when he makes the sword, yeah.
Yeah, that's in the first episode, right?
Seriously, watching the first episode feels like a movie. It just does. It doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't like run through everything. But I swear, it feels like the episode is 40 minutes long. It just does so much. It does okay, but it's just
Yeah. So there you go. And what was your second question?
I have managed to forget it, so it probably wasn't important.
Cool. Should we move on to the next one then?
Sure.
Yeah. So I just the speed alone makes this fun. Yeah. So what's next?
You.
Okay. Can I then have, right, I'm going to go with something similar. Can we have She Professed Herself, the Pupil of the Wise Man? Because I feel I've got interesting parallels to draw from this to that.
I should do it.
Pops through buttons.
There you go.
As you know, already got it.
Right. Okay, so this has had, I think, equal amount of episodes for this show. And the first episode of this show... No, I'll say the setting. I'll say a setting. Right, so again, we have a pseudo-weird isekai with a very similar setting, where a guy... In fact, no, this one is a video... This one is so weird. It just is even clunkier. Even clunkier. This is the same show, almost, as... Or it feels like, very similar to The Weakest Crest, but it doesn't have the pace. And it just feels aimless because of it. It just feels utterly bland and aimless and all over the place. So this one is a group of people who are playing a video game. And they're, again, these lovely Japanese MMOs, which one day I hope we'll ever make, where you can just be, one character can just become that good. The main character that we follow... Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
There's 4 of these shows this season.
Yeah.
One of them is entirely player-driven, right? The
Which
game.
is that?
Well, that's the problem. I can't remember which one it is. I think it was this one.
This one. No, it's this one.
Yeah?
This is the one with the player-driven game.
Yeah, so basically it's like EVE Online, where...
Yeah, very EVE Online, where every person should be a player. There are NPCs, but they're very rudimentary, and people can own kingdoms, people can attack other people's kingdoms, and it's all down to the players and the thing. But at the same time, the players can also have massively varying power levels, but even more so because it's these magical, lovely Japanese animes where one person can become the equivalent of a god. And our main character is this. He even enjoys wanting his character to be this sort of wizened Gandalf-looking sage. That's how the main person wants their character to be. And they are the super summoner. They're like Gandalf on steroids, who can summon armies of demon knights and Valkyries and dragons and whatever. And then they fall asleep one night while they pay money for an item if your player, I can't remember the name of it in Final Fantasy 14, basically changes the gender or whatever your character. And then they bought the item and they thought, oh, this is going to run out, I've got to use it soon. And they were just using it and going, oh, what would a cool little girl character look like? And then they fell asleep on the character generation. When they then wake up, they're then in the game as if it's a real world. And they're not their former wise Gandalf character. They now look like the chibi girl, as you can see there on screen. But it turns out that still in the world. Oh no, what's happened here?
Oh no.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going, and then after... No, keep going. I'll do the talk like this. And then, yeah, definitely. I'm going to finish.
Do it.
So the key point is then that's the end of episode 1. The time skip happens, and they're in the world now, but they're in the world with the other people, as in the players they played with are still in the world, but they're also now like trapped in the world, but they don't seem to care. They're just like, yeah, we're all playing the game. It never comes up. The NPCs though are now real people, which they express. Oh yeah, the real people. That's great. And the main character's goal, who has to pretend to be the student of himself, he has to be as the girl. It's like, oh, I'm very much like that wizened the Gandalf guy. In fact, I'm that person's student, and they have to now go and try and find all their super powerful old friends they used to play with to defend the world country they set up when they played the game. I think that's it, as far as I understand. But it just does not look into any of these concepts. Oh, am I back? I don't know. Oh,
No.
I don't know if I hold it like that.
No.
I'm sort of like in the right place. There we go. Right. It does not want to explore any of these concepts. They seem to just accept they're in this world now. They don't seem to want to return to the real world. In fact, the more complaint is that the main character wants to return to being a Gandalf-looking character and not a little girl, even though he is a legend as his Gandalf character, style character. And so that's more important to them than going, hey, why are we stuck in a video game? Why are my friends here? Why are the NPCs real? How did this happen? Are we dead? None of that ever comes up. It's just kind of then exploring the world, looking for their old friends in their new body, and hijinks ensue. And it's so bland. It feels has no direction. It has no heart, no soul. It barely. Oh god! And then the power of this character. This character used to be called, I think, it was Dambelf, the summoner of an army or something, or the one-man army. That was it. And can summon literally like 100 10-foot tall armored death knights and dragons and seraphim and Valkyrie and all this other stuff, and it can fight a whole army by itself. And then in this character, she only summons like one thing at a time now. Like, I'll summon one Valkyrie, I'll summon one knight. It's like, no, you could just summon your army. There's nothing implying that they don't have all the powers that Dambelf had, or that they should pretend not to be as powerful as Dambelf. They just say they're the student of Dambelf, and there's Dambelf. That's what the Gandalf avatar they want to be. It seems so weird. So there's just an excuse to bring other characters along. It has no heart. It's okayly animated, but I just don't understand what it's trying to achieve.
I actually disagree. I think it's quite well animated.
Oh no, it's okayly animated. I wouldn't say it's beautiful. I wouldn't say it's poorly animated. Like it has a good combination of CG. Like, it uses CG for when they're fighting a demon and the summons of the main character. So the knights, they summon a CG, which is really cool, and they look quite detailed. But then all the characters are done with animation, like, standard animation. So it feels okay. It's not amazing, but it's not awful either. It just is. But I just feel it just feels so bland. I just feel no direction. I could not really tell you about the whole direction about the world, or the goals of the main character, or how they ended up here, or why they're not understanding it. It just feels too much, and maybe it was cut out, but yeah. Anyway, do you have any points, you want to add to that while I fix myself?
So I feel that pretty much everything is pretty damn accurate. The reason why I brought up the whole the world was created by the players, the countries, the kingdoms, that it was created by the players, was because it never comes up again, right? They put majority of the first episode in explaining the world setting, explaining the existence of this kingdom where magic is welcome, whereas the other two have ostracized it, and they put in all this effort, and then they just drop it like a hot sack of shit, right? One point that Loz missed was when he wakes up, when Dambelf wakes up as the little girl. I can't remember what her name is, or what name he gives it. Was it Mina or something I can't remember.
Something like that.
It's 30 years later, right? So 30, so there's a huge time skip. And when she comes back,
why does he have a Starbucks cup there?
That's because they're not role playing at the moment. So it's him and another character. They're sort of having a laugh. This is before they wake up in the actual world. It's still the video to them, right?
But
so, yeah.
How does he have that in the video game?
It's one of the items in the video game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's actually a method of drinking or something. It's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she, I feel that, so when the king, who is another player character, realizes that Danbelf has come back, and Danbelf walks through the door, it's like, oh my god, that's you! I know who you are! And like, the king's the only one that just instantly clicks that is the old guy from 30 years ago. No one else twigs on this whatsoever. I don't think there are any other player characters at the moment. I don't think
there is another one.
There is?
There's one that runs in and knows the king, who's the little kid. There's one of the images here. Runs in and hugs. Okay. Because it now thinks Danbelf looks really cute.
Fan service, got it.
Yeah, the fan service character who rubs the main character in the boobs. Yeah.
In the boobas.
The booba. In the booba. Right, so this is your stereotypical isekai series where it is going at the stereotypical isekai pace, right? Whereas, Greater Sage would have actually done this in like half the time. This is going at what you stand typically get. This is 100% for me in the nothing special category.
This is absolutely nothing special. So what Crest we're doing 2 episodes. This is taking 4 to do and doing it slower and poorly still.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It just feels so weird. The first episode was an interesting setup, and it's like because you got to see what they're like and when they were playing it as a game, and now you're like in it as a world, and it just doesn't seem to want to know what to do with it. Because like in the last episode, this main character here was like, these people I'm working with are no longer NPCs. They have lives. They have parents. I've got to protect them all. And it's like, can we hear more? This is the prince, by the way, the king or whatever. Yeah, who was also a player. It's so I don't understand what's going on. It's almost like a dream or something. It just doesn't make sense. Either explains if they're okay, if we got back to. I don't think it even comes up. We have to go back to our real world, does it? They don't seem to want to. They don't even discuss it.
No, they don't try. They're
just like, no, we're in a game now. Woohoo!
We're here. What else can we do? Let's live our lives. Yeah. I'm king. I rule all your bitches. Right.
I mean, I'll keep watching because I'm hoping it'll do something or might investigate that. But it just feels a bit aimless and just vague. And I think I've watched 4 episodes of it, and I'm still just like, are you going to address the scenario you're in at all? I don't know. Anyway, I suggest we move on.
Yep, next one.
Lots to do.
Right. Oh, you're gonna love this one, Zeno. We're doing Orient. Yeah. This is so. A lot of this season for me can be summed up as I really thought this sounded like a cool scenario, setting, what have you, and then I just get disappointed. So this one sounded really cool. It sounded like, we've got this alternate Japan where demons, who I think are actually aliens, but I don't know for sure, took over and convinced everyone to worship them as gods. And there's this group of fighters called the Bushi who want to take their world back. And it sounds like such a cool premise. And then you watch it, and even the opening, just the opening credits, is filled with the your typical shonen tropes that you see in any shonen anime opening like this. Sort of the same thing in the first episode. The main character's been in secret training. His friend has lost his spirit, but is invigorated by the main character's shining power. Their sheer determination is enough to win the day in the first episode, and also crystal motorcycle, because why not?
Crystal motorcycle? What?
Crystal,
what?
Yeah, crystal motorcycle. In weird feudal present day Japan. Yeah. I almost want to say this is a parody just because of how silly it got by the 3rd episode. Bushi.
The second character along there. What are they wearing? What is that? Is that like a chest window?
Yeah.
This guy in the black,
is that underab?
Yeah, well, that's their cool Bushi outfits, right? Because they gotta look cool. They're awesome dudes who can do really good fighting.
Look at the other people. We've got geese. We've got clear. I can understand a cut down the middle, but that was like had the top bit and then that opened into like a diamond shape to show underab.
Yeah. It was like a JoJo outfit. So it was like a JoJo outfit.
JoJo outfits make more sense than that.
So the reason I kind of thought this might be parody is like the Oni all start out really, really cute, and then they transform into these giant monstrosities. The Kishin, who is the main Uber demon, looks really cool, but is really dumb. It literally bashes open its own stomach because one of the guys is on it.
Wow.
The Ibushi have a literal floating Japanese castle / fortress that they launch their motorbikes from, and they use their, as it says in this image, although they can't quite see it, they're using their swords to fly.
Yes,
with the blue energy, so it's so dripping with all these shonen tropes that are terrible.
No, I'm sorry, I gotta jump in here. No, it's not shonen. It's dripping with tokusatsu tropes, right? This is the sort of shit that you would see in something like Power Rangers or Kamen Rider, right?
Except they don't transform or anything.
No, but that's the only thing that's missing. Right? Yeah. The whole crystal motorcycle, the floating fortress, right? The power of my sword will fly,
80s Saturday morning cartoon.
Please describe. So give me a Western Saturday morning cartoon that has this level of dumb.
Oh, well, all of them.
X-Men wasn't like that.
He-Man, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Samurai Pizza Cats was not like that.
Jason the Warriors.
Right. No, but sorry, I want to jump in here. Like, I managed to get anyway. I managed to get through one episode.
It's the mummies from 739 BC. It's the mummies.
I managed to get through one episode of this, and then I gave up the will to live. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have any screenshots of this, Nasuth, but the main character, his mining tool, his pick, is this 10-foot long fucking scythe, double-headed scythe. That's not a fucking pick, that's a scythe, right?
And he used that to train in secret. Totally not conspicuous at all. Training in secret with this flashy scythe.
It is so Shonen Jump in design. It's bright fucking red, right? It's got weird patterns on it and everything. It's that's the fucking scythe. That's not a pick. You would break it the second you swing it at a rock. What the fuck are you doing, right? And this is a hard pass for me, right?
Oh man, this show sounds awesome. I have to watch this.
This is just trash incarnate. Right.
It takes them 3 episodes to actually get on the road for their journey.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah.
Jesus
they spend
first.
They spend 2 episodes fighting the Kishin after defeating the regular Oni, and the second episode has him getting berated by the actual Bushi, telling him, "Oh, you're not strong enough," and he's like, "Yes, I am. I'm gonna be strong enough," because that's what they do in shonen anime.
Not that the fact that he has red hair and everyone else has blue hair.
Oh,
but
another big thing
is, right? Another big thing is swords are bad. No one is allowed a sword. Swords equal bad.
Bushi. The Bushi use swords, so we have to anyone who is a Bushi has to have their sword chained to them.
So everyone that has in strongest Sage, everyone's been sort of manipulated into thinking that the crest that our main character has is the weakest possible crest, and no one wants it, sort of thing. All right, but somehow these demons turn up, and they manage to convince the entire population of Japan that swords are bad.
It reminds me of Zardos. The gun is bad. The gun is evil. The gun is good. Sorry, the gun is good. It was.
Oh, there's a fucking scythe.
There's the scythe. Yeah, you've never seen Zardos, have you? It's fine. You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
No idea. But it
looks like I'm watching Bleach.
Oh god, tell me about it. I just could not comprehend like a world that has been overthrown by demons, where people would just happily believe that swords are bad and slavery, being enslaved, not slavery, but being enslaved is good. And I'm like, how?
Oh, see, these people have a copy. These demons have a copy of 1984. Then, yeah.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah.
So hard pass from me.
Oh, also, all their wounds heal miraculously between scenes. Like, you saw in the first episode how much he got dragged around and stuff. He was fine in the next episode to fight the Kishin. And he got beat up a bunch in that one, and then literally like a scene later, he's lunging to attack again. It's just, oh my god. I may watch another episode or two just to see how absolutely dumb it is, but I'm giving it I'm recommending that you pass on this one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be just because I watch terrible things doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
We watch the terrible things so you don't have to. Right. Talking about terrible things that got horrendously censored on the internet.
Ooh.
I was hoping, there we go, World's End Harem!
Yes. I watched the first episode of this when it first came out. It was supposed to be part of last season. It's now got pushed to this season. I do want to catch on this, having a chance, but Xeno has been fighting a good fight, keeping up to speed on this show, which I want to keep reiterating, just for anyone who hasn't listened. We think this would have been the best comedy of the year. Instead, they're playing it super straight, and Xeno says that's actually a good thing, so...
Well, I mean, I hope it's a good thing. Right, okay, so I think we discussed the premise before, but a little recap. There's a deadly male killer virus that kills something like 99.9% of the men in the world. There's like 1 man per 1 billion women. Right, it's like crazy numbers.
You should have added a few more 9s on that, I think.
Yeah, you get the point. So it's killed the majority of men, the vast majority of men on the planet, and effectively we start off following the second male protagonist. I will also point out all of these images; they should all be safe for work. But anyway, so. Our first character that we're following is the second guy to wake up, and he is very committed to his one true love, the woman he confessed his love to before he went into cryo sleep because of his illness, and he is trying to he won't just pick a harem. He is determined to keep himself for just her, and he is trying to find her. The bit that's interesting is the fact that they are playing more than just the male characters. I thought the whole series was going to be just focused solely on him, but episodes 3 and 4 were actually focused on the white-haired boy in this. He's in high school. He's around 16. I can't confirm the age, but he's around 16. And it really gives him a solid backstory. I was actually really impressed with this because he was bullied quite heavily in in high school. Before the virus, he was bullied really badly, and no one would come to his aid. When it was discovered he had this disease and he had to go into cryo sleep, very similar to our other protagonist, he said his goodbyes to his classmates. Not a single one of them cared, right? Wow. Everyone walked on him. He was just left there at the front of the class with the teacher, and he felt like crap. So the teacher was the only one in the entire school that actually cared about him, right? And so that's another interesting depiction. In all honesty, I hope we go back to the first protagonist we had, because if it's just suddenly going to from protagonist to protagonist to protagonist, we don't get any time to actually properly learn anything about any of them. We do get the odd clip going back to the main protagonist, and this is one of them. So one of the big things that happens in the first episode is that the main protagonist, who is the blue-haired kid in this photo, who is an adult by the setting, he ends up running out of a car, which Loz spoke about I think last time, and ends up exposing the fact that he is alive as a man in this woman-dominated world. Yeah. And they're like, oh my god, is that a guy? So this is the other kid. Why, seriously, background thing, why are you choosing the wrong time to show the wrong character? Anyway, sticking to the original thing. So the blue-haired guy, he is determined not to sleep with any of the other women, and they've chosen the path of revealing his awakening, revival to the whole world, and he has pledged to find the cure to the man-killer virus. Yeah? In all honesty, this show has quite serious dark hints to it, like maybe the male killer virus or the man killer virus was artificially created to do that specific job. It wasn't an accident, right? The psychology behind how they treat the individual revivals is really interesting. So the first revival, which you see rarely, he was told the situation immediately and he went straight for it. The second revival, he was told the situation and he rejected it. The third revival hasn't been told the situation at all, right?
Oh, so this is the person on screen here, the white-haired kid.
The
That's our third revival,
yes. Yeah, he's been told like something bad has happened, but he is very much a guinea pig in his situation. And the audience know this pretty much. So it has some interesting tones. The censorship is horrific. It is so fucking strong. It's untrue. Effectively, it's artifacts that you could get on a video and things like that. Imagine that, except for pure black, and it's like effectively someone's taken a frame, scribbled permanent black marker on like a still, and then just covered it up. And it happens quite frequently. The reason for the censorship is that you cannot show nudity in Japan that is of a provocative nature. And of course, that's what this show is, right? This is 100% in a acquired taste situation, right? I am interested to see where it goes, but it could quite happily just go and crash and burn. Right?
Yeah, I imagine this could go quite dark. It could go quite... Yeah. Because the thing is, in this situation, I love how the first episode, it's not spoilers, main character decides, no, I'm going to save myself from my one girlfriend and try and find her. Yeah. Because all the men disappeared quite rapidly, a lot of knowledge and proficiency was lost in one go. So, the women are trying to keep the world going as best they can, but they haven't kept track of everything. So we've lost track of this girl he's after. In reality, he would not be allowed to make the decision of, no, I want to save myself for her. I mean, at best, they'd be like, right, we'll try and find her, but at the very least, here's a cup. Give us sperm samples every day. We need it because there's 7 of you left. I don't care that you want to find her. We're being nice for now and letting you give sperm samples. If that doesn't work, I'm sorry, you're going to get grapes a lot.
Grapes.
Lots of grapes. Because I'm shocked that they're allowing him, because literally they have a handful of men left, or that's it. I mean, I'm so shocked they're giving him any choice in this. So it's like maybe there's a darker thing there as well. There's potential, I felt, from what you've said, of what's going on, but we'll have to see.
I do feel there's potential in this. That is the love interest of the blue-haired guy, right? I'm going to tell you this straight off the bat, because this was a make it or break it scenario. You do know she is alive and things.
Right, but they don't know where
do-
she is. Or
You do see her in the world setting, as opposed to, here's some breadcrumbs you'll never again. Right?
Right.
So it is better than that. So yeah, that's all I want to say. This for me is a acquired taste. But I can quite easily see a lot of people
Why are they on a Star Destroyer here?
Actually, I took this screenshot is because the white-haired kid here, who is our third protagonist, or second really, he walks across the screen holding his chin like this. I'm like, who the fuck does that? Who walks down a corridor?
Deep in thought.
Well, surely if you're deep in thought, not moving. But anyway, yeah. So basically that scenario was a kid was getting bullied. He stepped in to say something, and then he became the target of the bullying. So yeah,
I saw one of the censored images of like a couple of people kissing. I assume it was very lewd with tongue. And I said to Xeno, they censored that, but they didn't censor the tongue and cherry thing in JoJo.
That's the first protagonist. So that's the first guy that
this is Alpha.
Yeah. This is Alpha. Yeah, this is number 1. Right?
He's the Chad who wants to bang everyone.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point doing his story because his are resolved. It's like, right, you need to have as many kids as possible. Yes, ma'am.
So one thing I don't understand, which I hope that they allude to properly. In the opening sequence, the red-haired girl there is in the opening sequence, yet thus far has had next to no screen time whatsoever. So I hope, she's on the promotional art and everything. So I'm just like, I really hope that they do actually explore her a lot more. But anyway.
The show was delayed a whole season, so I imagine
I think that was for the censorship more than anything else.
Maybe, but I mean, blurring up some stuff, you could do that on a week-by-week basis, blur some images, that ain't hard. Photoshop blur filter, job done.
Yeah, anyway, right, should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
What are you going to go for, Loz?
I am going to go for In the Land of Leadale to continue my trend of isekais.
It should change.
Now.
We had Xeno's Crest, which was kind of bland, but at least going quick. Then I had She Professed Pupil the Wise Man, which I felt is just bland and not going anywhere. This one, I feel, has a bit of heart. It doesn't want to tell you a story about winning over demons or whatever. Maybe it might get that far, but it's not. It's actually more bit of slice of life in an isekai. So the setting here we have is a bit more established because it's focused on just one character, which is our elf girt lady there. I'm pretty sure, it's not quite said, but I think they were disabled and very ill, living in a hospital bed, and we're living in Sword Art Online-esque level of technology where the only escape was to play a MMO through some weird headset-based stuff, and she played it a lot and she loved it. It's not, oh god, no, have I done it again? No, I'm back. What is, I've grabbed the camera. Come back here, you. Right, so it's not really ever said, but I think she died in a hostel bed, and it's not really ever said, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. She died, and when she died, she woke up in the video game in a tavern, and then time again has passed. I think it's 1,000 years or several hundred years or something like that, but she's still got her character, all of her core skills, and then she's just trying to explore the world and see what's going on, trying to find her old friends she used to play with, but they all seem to be gone. However, she gets a bit of a funk about it, but then gets over it because she's got a world to live in, and she gets to walk around and actually, she used to be, I'm pretty sure, trapped in a hospital bed, and the MMO was her only escape, and now she can do whatever she wants. And instead of being focused on, let's go beat the Demon King or whatever, it's more, I feel it has more heart, and it's just more slice of life-ish. For instance, this character here is one of 3 characters that were NPCs that she had, I think it was called like an apprenticeship or mentor system in the game, that like, in an MMO, you sometimes get NPCs under you that you send off to do missions.
Yeah.
That's what this character is, and it's 2 of they're all counted as her family. 2 are actually supposed to be like her biological children, and 1 is someone she adopted as a little dwarf character. And then she meets them because they're obviously as if the game continued, but it became a world that she's now in, and that they're big characters in the world. And she meets up with them, and it's more about they're really surprised to see their mum after hundreds of years, and they act like you're our mum, and it's more wholesome in that way. Her interaction with people around her, she's obviously really powerful, but it doesn't ever really get bogged down in fighting or that being important. It's more about her exploring the world, understanding the world, and her interactions with other characters around her. And I'm enjoying it so much more than pretend to be a wise man, because it's that's the key point. Is her establishment in the world setting is already clear. I think she's dead, and she's been resurrected into this world. It's now this time. She did get a bit of a funk about it when she realised she probably wouldn't see any of the people she played with again, and her family. The thing is, then it was a response of her family, because she got so annoyed that people were talking to her. There's one scene here where you might see someone's head stuck in a ceiling. You can just see their legs hanging. That's because they tried to talk to her, and she puts herself in like a bubble of isolation for a night, because she just doesn't want to talk to anyone. But then she realised she gets hungry. It's simple solution. She then went, oh damn, I'm hungry. And then she went to get food, and she felt better because she had some food. And went, yeah, food tastes good. Hey, I get to hang out with all these cool people. Isn't this a cool world to explore? And she gets over it. And I just feel so much better about this show. It's just so much more nicer in the way it's exploring its world, its setup, and what its goals are. It's just her exploring the world.
So I agree quite heavily with everything Loz is saying. The only thing I want to highlight is where Sage has a really strong narrative it's following very quickly,
Yeah. Should I get bored?
This one is, I wouldn't say it's following a particular narrative. It is, as you said, it was very much a slice of life. It's, she's just doing what she wants, right? Yeah. And part of that, like, it feels quite aimless. I've only watched the first 3 episodes. I didn't manage to catch the 4th one, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, the first episodes had me hooked, but when I started watching the 4th one, I was just like, kind of hope we get some form of direction, some form of motivation. Like, please give me, like, oh yes, we're going to set up a camp at this location, like, or there's a horrible monster terrorizing this one place. Like, I just want motivation.
Which episode did you finish on? I mean, it's not really spoiled. Yeah. Do you want to slap spoilers?
No, it's where I watched the bit where she was eating, right? It's the literally, you already described it. Yeah. She's hungry. She wants to go get food and things. She meets up with the dwarf son, and I kind of just promptly fell asleep because it's been a rough week. I have not managed to get back to it, but I because I've seen that scene, I don't feel an impetus to go back and watch it, because it has felt quite aimless for the last 3 episodes.
I think that was kind of setting up her feeling the world, because then after that she decides, I need to go do things, and she actually starts like helping the people alongside her, kind of thing. She then decides to go with the caravan people, and they go on a mission, and she has to actually save them from bandits and things, and she she sees that as important. So I feel that was kind of setting up her in the world. Yeah, I wouldn't say, so far it's not going to have a big go kill the demon lord narrative. It's more her interaction with people, and if you're enjoying her interactions, like I love her interaction with, this is her foster son, the dwarf. God, yeah. And then she just pats his head and things, though he's a really old dwarf now, and obviously his crew see him as this like stern guy, and then to see his mum, which he's like, oh my god, mum, it's you. Oh god, I keep moving this camera. He keeps seeing
show feet, Loz. Show feet. No.
Yeah, it's my feet. He sees like his mum, who he wants to, his mum who he loves. And then his mum just treats him like a little boy who he pats his head. It's just hilarious. I just enjoy it. So if you're not enjoying those character interactions, yeah, I can understand it'd be quite boring. But that's okay for me. I'm enjoying it.
I'm still prepared to keep watching this, but I kind of hope it picks up a bit soon.
Right, but compared to if you want a bit of a slice of life isekai that's just not a bit funny and a bit more laid back, that's why I want to put it in acquired taste, not bland, because I feel it does have its special thing is not that it's about an exciting adventure, it's about a laid back adventure, and that's why I'd say it's an acquired taste.
What was the other option? What was the one underneath it? Nothing special.
Cast, yeah, nothing special.
I would say this is a low end of acquired taste.
Yeah.
This is verging on nothing special.
Oh yeah, it's borderline, but borderline into acquired taste, not borderline
Yes.
into
Yeah.
in my opinion.
If you just want to kind of sit back and relax and not think too hard, it's a good one to relax to.
Maybe this is something that would be better to watch on mass in bulk,
Probably,
rather
yeah.
than
Yeah, because it is quite slow, but it's slow but enjoyable rather than slow and bland.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Also,
was
the
gonna say,
animation is pretty solid as well.
It's all right. Yeah, it's got some nice points. And
Cool.
it has been dropping points that could be leading to a bigger plot or bigger things happening, but
Yes.
it's just nicer. And here's the three characters. There's the son, the daughter, and then the dwarf again. And I just love the interactions between these three characters and then with their mum. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, wholesome, very wholesome.
I want to say one thing. No, I want to say one thing. The son-in-law. Do you remember the interaction between the mum and the son-in-law?
The daughter's husband.
Yeah.
Remember too much. Just the bit when they go see about the potion.
Yeah. I just quite liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
It's
the
the
key thing. It's like
interactions,
see the interactions, and it's like it's nice. Like with the little girl in the inn, and it's just like it's just nice, it's just wholesome.
Right.
Cool.
So, is that it for that one?
Yep.
I don't think I have any questions. It sounds. I mean, I'm probably not going to be interested in it, but it sounds better than it could be for sure.
Yeah, no, most people probably say it's quite bland and slow, and it's not. It's not looking to rock the world. It's just having a nice little story. Right, what's your next one, Nasuth?
So I labeled this one as a must-watch, but not because I'd say it's good. It's really weird, really weird.
I was gonna watch this, and I was
Really,
waiting for
really,
feedback
really
on. You were
weird.
like, "This is really weird."
So it's inspired extremely loosely from Shakespeare's Henry VI Part 3 and Richard III. And I think personally that the way they pronounce these English names, these very, very English names, is just hilarious. It's not their fault, and I'm a terrible person, but that alone is worth the price of admission.
Right. I'm sold.
It's so where we had Rusted Armors earlier that was trying to be artistic in as much as it was a stage play. This is a very, very different kind of artsy. There's lots of detail in the backgrounds, although there's also a lot of like everything's kind of grayed out, and I think it's because they think that's how England looks, or at least looked. It's always gray. It's always kind of overcast. It's just there's never any sun.
They've been here. That's a true story. Looks pretty. Yep. This is your average. 80% of our days look like this. Yep.
Oh, that's
arrows too. I mean, we just get arrowed all the time.
Wait. I thought this was historical. Why have they got a picture from Birmingham?
I know. Yeah. If you didn't know, I think it's still on the books. Every Sunday we have to go practice archery. It's just what we do.
Yeah.
Every man has to practice archery. Just every Sunday.
You never want to be one of the poor fuckers with the pikes. Like seriously, you just get shot the fuck up. And
I know. Yeah. We all take it out on them.
Yeah.
What did we do before we called Kanpai Cast on Sundays now?
Anyway,
right, so this is where we start to get into the weird stuff, right? That girl is Joan of Arc, and Richard, who is this guy, is having psychedelic visions of her.
The French will do that to you. Why we fight them so much?
So this is also very, 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 very much a shoujo anime. Richard and Henry are actually in love, but don't know who each other are. Because they met one night out in the woods. We've also got... So Richard is the dark, tragic one who denies what he actually wants. And Henry is the gentle and caring and open and direct one. These are definite shoujo tropes going on, right? Richard's older brother in a relationship with the loyal servant who watched over Richard as a child. But he's meant to be betrothed to a princess. I can't remember whether it was Spain or France, one of the two. And he also wants to have sex with this woman who's actually serendipitously on the screen right now. So that's that's great. It is pretty standard for the monarchy, at least, right? That's
Wait.
That's what they do. We peddled it.
Which one wants to hide the zucchini with this woman?
It's Richard's oldest brother, I think,
Okay.
who became king. Who was king at this point.
I thought you said Henry, and that's why I was a bit confused. So okay.
Yes, sorry, no. Richard has psychedelic visions of Joan of Arc, which I said. She keeps telling him that they're the same, and what she means by this, there's really no other way to say it. Richard is intersex. He got boobies up top and business down below. And which I guess wasn't he described as like delicate in the plays, and it's supposed to have like some kind of deformity. I'm not sure.
Our royal family isn't inbreeding. Well, not a.
Wait.
Yeah.
As in, Joan of Arc is saying to Richard, "You're secretly Joan of Arc."
No, she's saying that she was also intersex, which is why she became a soldier, right?
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that, but okay.
I don't know. This just because. Okay,
I am learning so much about my own history right now.
This is
Let the
why
Japanese teach you about English history.
this is why this is to me this is a must watch. I know a lot of people are going to say no, I'm not doing it, but it's just to see how the Japanese interpret English literature and history is just, I can't stop. I'm gonna keep going. The shoujo, I do have an occasional shoujo weakness, so that also helps a little bit. But I can't stop, won't stop. I gotta keep watching this one.
Yeah, definitely. I feel as we've got the BBC, which we're basically trying to get rid of, because I feel it could do a lot more shows to do with our bloody long, rich history, and they just don't. They just want to do trash, and it's like, yeah, let's let Japanese do an interesting take on it. Our take is that we take characters which are clearly established to be white and make them black. That's as far as we get. We had the wives of Henry VIII, and it's like, let's make Anne Boleyn black. That's as far as they get. Whereas this, like, hey, let's make Richard intersex. Let's change this. Let's change that. Let's have Joan of Arc and psychedelic villains. Like, okay, cool.
I don't know a ton about the history, but it seems like they are actually hitting a lot of the proper points. Like, the crown goes back and forth between the is it the Lancasters and the... No, it's not the Lancasters. Cool. It's yeah, maybe it is Lancasters and Yorks. It's the red and white roses.
Yes, that's the two. Yeah.
And so there's you get to see battles. You get to hear some of their machinations. They actually torture a guy for a while. I mean, it's not pretty, even though it is pretty.
I think historically my family were actually on the Lancaster side, though I've been born in York, so I could be on both. Yeah. Yep. And then Drew's Italian, so he doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hey, my family's name's in the Doomsday Book, man.
I thought it was.
It's fine.
I thought it was Welsh.
Fuck you!
One of these days, he's actually going to kill me for saying that.
Probably the first day I meet you, right?
No, I love this because it's the thing that gets me is we have been propagandized and I swear almost hypnotized into believing we don't even have a culture anymore, even though we have such an amazing rich history where such an amazing thing happened and back and forth and such detailed things happening, and we just don't even talk about it. It's just doesn't even come up anymore. We're just expected to just consume this global narrative, and it takes Japan, this very unique thing, to go, hey, by the way, you guys have a culture. It's like this. Hey, let's
even though they did weird stuff to it. No,
but who cares? It's like a crazy interaction. It's like, well, why aren't we doing that ourselves with our own stuff? It's like, no, we'll just make Anne Boleyn black. That's as far as we get. It's like that. Anyway, this is really cool. I'm sold. This is great. I'm loving this. Yeah, again, I'm sorry. This almost looks like a normal weekend for us. So it's very futuristic. It's like future punk for like historical times for us. So yep. I even have one of those hats actually. I need to polish it.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, when you randomly,
I do kind of like the way that the soldiers are all faceless. Like they don't matter.
Well, I again, that might be saving on the budget.
Again, that's just British people. I'm sorry. We're just, you don't want to see the faces. I mean, do you want to look at their teeth? Oh no, we don't look at the teeth. Don't give them face.
Right. Yeah. Move on.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Okay. So I need to give a quick honorable mention because I realized I've completely left this off my list entirely, which is the case study of Vanitas Part 2. I was so on my other monitor here, I've got a list of all the shows that I'm currently watching. I'm like, what's that one? Son of a... So,
to the point that you haven't even got images for it. This is from the first season of Vanitas.
Yes. So this is from part 1. So just a quick highlight before I actually move on to the thing I'm going to talk about. Season 2 has started very strong, a little slow. Sorry, part 2 has started really strong. A little slow. Has a fake Astolfo, which any Fate fans will actually get. And, but I'm definitely 100% watching it. If you've seen the first part of Vanitas, you should be watching this. Otherwise, you should be watching this. Just go start watching it and then, yeah, get on with that. But actually going back to what I should be talking about.
I assume we'll hear more of this in a later point, later in the season, because Xeno will watch all of it and let us know about it and when he has proper images. So, yeah. But
Yes.
Xeno's actual thing he's supposed to be talking about is...
Well, I just want to check with you. When are you going to do Police in the Pod?
Last.
You're going to do last. Right. So in that case, I'm going to do My Dress Up Darling. Only because I couldn't remember what the fucking... Yeah.
Oh,
so
man, he's hitting the good ones.
Yes,
So as well.
Well, no, because like I didn't want to... If you're going to do yours last, I wanted to put mine in the middle. So,
okay.
Right. Okay. So I love this show. So what inspired me to watch this was a couple weeks ago when I was trying to find memes, there was nothing but My Dress Up Darling memes. It became so difficult to find something. I was like, why is Reddit going absolutely ballistic for the show? I watched the first 2 episodes. Well, I actually watched the first episode and I fell in love. So this is a must watch in my regard. It's making waves. The premise is basically we have... Did you want to say something?
No, sorry, I'm going to stop for a completely random aside because it's so good that I want to get back to it. But can I just say this, because in case I forget this, right? Seeing as we're having these 4 things, and I think we should keep it for it. Every time we say this, do you know, like in Konosuba, when there's the like, it says like this is the mission, it comes up on like papyrus paper or whatever, and then after they finish the mission, like it stamps it.
Yeah.
I want like quite big in the middle of the screen, like the 4 different stamps for our 4 different results.
Yeah.
I was already thinking about asking
effect
for that afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about putting like an image that covers it up, but seeing as we've got the background stuff, I don't want to include that. So like a slightly transparent, like a stamp that would be like.
Why don't we put the stamp in like the top right-hand corner?
No, I want it in the middle. I want it in the middle.
Oh,
big in the
okay.
middle. We're too much in the little corners here. I literally want it can come up and disappear like the spoilers.
Okay.
I want poof big in the middle like the Konosuba stamps.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say that before I forget that idea. Right. Anyway, so back to this amazing show.
Right. Okay. So we have 2 main characters. We have Gojo, not to be confused with the Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Our main male character.
Yeah, and we have Marin. I think that's
male female character.
Male female character.
Main female.
Main female character. Main female character. Now, Gojo is a social recluse. They're both in high school. He is a social recluse. She is Miss Super Popular. He has a very strong... he's a huge fan of what are called Hina dolls, which are these Japanese dolls. I do not have any. Traditional. There we go. They are very delicate in design. They are very detailed. They are very reminiscent of geishas in their garb and things like this. The level of detail that you put into making one of these dolls is incredible. This has opened up my eyes to a whole new facet of what.
LOZ. You watched? Did you ever watch all of Lupin? Last season of Lupin?
No.
Oh, I think those might have actually been featured in one of the episodes.
No, I'm still waiting for you to watch the bloody episode I watched to explain it, so I continue to actually watch the series. I wish I never got caught on that episode 0. It just destroyed me. I didn't understand. My life was crushed.
Anywho, so he, as a kid, ends up introducing his love for Hina dolls to one of his female friends from school. Yeah, peers, there you go. And she called him weird, and she ran out of the Hina shop that his family has crying. So, that emotionally scarred him. The fact that he was called out weird for something he loved. Ultimately, Marin, I think, she discovers that he likes the Hina dolls. She doesn't like the fact that he is bullied, the fact that he is taken advantage of. There you go. At school, can you clean out the entire classroom by yourself because I've got other shit to do. I've got to go to work and things like that. And they just ditch him. Whereas she won't. She is very strong on her morals and things. And ultimately, his family's sewing machine ends up breaking down at home, and he can't make the dress for the Hina doll that he's making. So he goes to use the sewing machine at the school after school one day, and she walks in on him, right? And discovers that he's into this.
Sorry, hang on. Just point out. So he is, ever since he had the girl as a kid sort of reject his love of the Hina dolls, he is clearly hiding it from everyone. He's a social recluse. He doesn't have any friends, but at the same time, he's just trying to get through school life. He doesn't clearly want to try and open up to other people. He sees that his hobby and his drive is no one else is gonna understand him, so there's no point. So him, though he went to go use the machine thing at school, he thought there was no club that would be using that, so no one will discover him, because he's worried that if school found out, he would become, everyone would see him as weird. So he's been hiding it. So
and lo and behold, she walks in on him, right? And she loves that he is passionate about this hobby, right? She hates, guys that hit on her that are just interested in one thing, that are just 2D.
I think she's selling the point there. You've jumped the gun there.
Have I? Go on.
Yeah. So she finds, oh my god, you know how a sewing machine works. It's her initial point, not about his love of the Hina dolls. It's like she comes in the room.
I got that wrong. Yeah.
She comes in the room because before you get onto his love of things, that doesn't get to it. So she comes into the room, is like, oh my god, you know how to use a sewing machine? And he's like, okay, yeah, because she has a love of cosplay. Go.
Yeah. And then after fumbling around like a muppet, he ends up dropping the head of one of his grandmother's Hina dolls.
Yes.
She finds it, and then the questions come about, and she loves that he loves this passion, right?
Yeah. Because she sees the Hina doll, she doesn't think ugly or what this or why do you like it. She does appreciate the beauty and artistry of the thing that she just picks up off the floor. Because I think he's carrying around this one Hina doll, the original Hina doll that he first saw that he thought was so beautiful that got him into his love of the Hina dolls. And I think realistically, the Hina doll, if you take away the clothes and the setting, it is just like a stick with the head on top. And so that's what he carries around. He almost talks to it the whole time. Yeah. Because it is just so beautiful to him. Yeah.
So she then confesses her love of cosplay to him, right? And she, the expressions, like the smile on her face and everything, her eyes light up. Actually, someone who gives a shit about something as much as I give a shit about cosplay. And she kind of realizes, her love of cosplay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So she kind of realizes, because he knows how to use a sewing machine, maybe I could get him to help me do my cosplays.
Well, so she shows, she's desperate to cosplay and explains her love of her passion to him. And so she's she's been secretly trying to use the sewing room to build a cosplay because she is desperate to cosplay a character. She doesn't just want to do some cosplay, she wants to almost be that character. Not in a weird way like she thinks she'll become them, but she wants to become them as much as she can while still being a normal person. She doesn't think she'll actually become this other character, but she loves this character and the setting and the character and everything they do so much. She really wants to cosplay them as perfect as she can, and so she's trying to build her own cosplay outfit, though she puts on her attempt and it is really, really, really pretty weak, and she hadn't got very far, and she was doing a pretty bad job.
Yeah. And this is basically the start of their relationship. So I don't want to go into too much detail. That's just the first episode. The one thing I really honestly, the animation of this show is so superb. There are parts that were clearly done in 3D and then rotoscoped, right?
Really?
You think so?
No, yes, no, definitely, 100%. It's some of the movements, and I'm not talking about the scene, Loz, in the second episode, right? Jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle.
Jiggle physics?
Oh God! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not talking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not talking about that. But there are other points in the show where the movement is just so fluid, right? But it's still animated on twos. It's quite clear. Like, I watched it and then I'm like, hold on, that was animated in 3D. It's never of the. It's rarely ever of the face. There's like one scene where I'm like, that's 3D. They do it so well, and I swear they touch it up with animation. Either that, or they just have some really phenomenal animators, right? But I would so easily believe that they did that in 3D and then rotoscoped over it, right? This show is, I would say, kind of a love letter to having creative passion. It doesn't have to be, cosplay or Hina dolls. Like, if you have a creative passion at all, I feel that this show basically says it's all right to have that. Yeah. This for me is a 100% must watch. Yeah.
I feel like look at this shot right here. I feel like they really put a lot of effort into making her not just look like another anime character.
Yes. Yeah. One of the things that I really am happy with, like, you'll see her in her school uniform. The school uniform isn't, weirdly enough, form-fitting, right?
Oh my god.
Like, it, her shirt doesn't just haphazardly cup her tits, right? But there's a character in the intro credits that, that does happen. And, like, we haven't seen the character at all yet, and I'm like, thank fuck. But yeah, it's like, it is mature themed. There are ecchi moments in it.
Yeah, but not in a lewd way. It's actually
exactly.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
not in a meaning to be lewd. I mean, okay, yeah, you could call it fan service, but the actual characters, it's quite wholesome and cute when they actually make realizations. Oh wait, what am I doing? For Nasuth, I'll just say that, like, well, if you're gonna make a dress, we need to get some measurements.
No, that's not the like. Remember the dream?
Oh yeah, but that's like 10 seconds, and that's just him having a weird thing. But it's not. Yeah, again, you don't even.
It's great. It's honestly, it's just absolutely great. It's like, but yeah, people should just watch it. I really think so.
I literally was like looking at the season and watching stuff. I was like trying to make sure I want to watch more as possible and actually talk about as many things as I can this season, or at least so that, especially when Nasuth picks up some cool stuff and they go, oh yeah, I know about this one, Nasuth. And then I went, okay, I'm gonna take this one because it's a slice of life. I probably would never, I would ignore this in the lineup. And I was like, you know what, bam, I'm gonna watch this one because it's like, oh yeah, whatever, okay, yeah. And then I couldn't put it down, and I'm literally waiting for every episode the next week now. I was gonna say this was my pick of the season, definitely a must watch, of course, but something else came up which I love even more. I still think this is amazing. I still think this is just so good. I'm just loving it. My only critique, which I'm gonna do, I'll say, I don't know if Cena is, is that I do feel the female character there, which is the most of the time it's just literally these two interacting is most of what the show is. We need to understand deeper the female character, how she got into her love of cosplay, and see more interactions with her. It's mainly focusing on him, and so I want to know more about
We need to know more about her. We need to see her daily life. We need to see her interactions with other characters. It's very one-sided at the moment, and she is the darling. She is her energy is just so adorable the entire time.
She's great. Yeah. But I feel he feels like a real character, really flawed, and the things he does. However, I feel just at the moment, though she feels great, and as you say, Naz was saying here, this great thing with the detail of things is like you can look at the cool thing of fingernails and the detail of her hair and everything. It feels like they put a lot of effort into animating her. I feel we don't know her enough to give her depth at the moment. She just feels like she's a popular character. She loves cosplay really passionately, and she is happy that he is helping her out with the costume. And I think that hits like 90% of what we know about her, really. I think in the future we will see some interesting things, maybe when other characters come in, and we'll see her interaction with other people, and maybe like it'd be great if we could follow her day. She wakes up and see, because she makes a few allusions to it. She said she has to recommend the game she's so happy about and wants to play the character from to him, and she does say he plays the game literally. Some great scene when the dad looks in on him playing the game, but he plays the game religiously to get all the information he can of the character, and then feeds back to her, and she's amazed because she's like, most people, when I recommend games to people, they don't even play it, and she was just so amazed by it. And I'd love to see more of that. But I feel like we will, because I feel like there's other characters, especially looking at the intro, there's going to be other, I think maybe cosplay people are going to come into their circle, interact with them as it expands, and then I think we will get more depth on her. So it's still great. I'm absolutely loving it, but I'm not complaining about that lack of depth, because it's only because I want more, and that's great.
Cool, right. Next one.
I was going to say that I was only going to watch this to learn the meme, or understand the memes. But you guys are making it sound actually really good, so
I'm so enjoying it.
Yeah. Right, Loz.
I'm saving my absolute best pick of the season, though, which you'll have to watch, Naz, if you haven't, till last. So I've got picking on for me, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna do two. No, I've got 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, this
4.
one too. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna do the ones I'm just getting out of the way because they'll be quick. Okay, can we do Arifureta from the Commonplace, the World's Strongest? These won't take me too long because I'm only watching them, and they're both second seasons, so I'll just go on it. So this is the second season of this. The first season of this is great at first. Obviously, this is the one where the guy's in a dungeon. It's a isekai, and he gets abandoned. He gets almost attacked. He falls to the bottom and has to fight his way out of the dungeon. It's the first 3 or 4 episodes of the first season. Even Xeno loves those episodes. I bet I could probably even get him to watch those 3 episodes again. He'd probably be like, yeah, I'll watch those 3 episodes, and then the show ended for him. But he'd still be happy to watch those 3 episodes because they are really good. And then, so this is, oh god, what is happening again? This is the second I think it's my thing with Charge that's apparently an issue. So this is the second season. It does just get on with things from the start. Where's this turning off? Yeah, it's off now. Right, so it does just get on with things from the start. And it is, I'm liking the fact that this show is moving on with the plot rather quickly. I'll probably have more to say later on. There's not really a great deal to say yet. It's in the first season they alluded to demons and that being important. Right, is that better now? That should be better now. And we are hitting the ground running with this. Oh, I see, that's the issue. I actually just put the camera down again. Keep playing with this bloody camera. I should put it further away and then zoom in somehow. I know there's a zoom feature. Sorry, yeah. So we see here we've got these characters. These are like the other characters that got isekai'd with our main character. We've hardly seen them, and I'm really loving it. Instead, we're focusing on the main character.
The fact that you're loving the fact that these characters have not come back.
Yeah, no, they're very lightly alluding to them, but literally we're getting like 1 scene per episode. I think we had 3 or 4 episodes just alluding there's other stuff going on to them to do, and it's also focused on their response to our main character and like they need to get stronger and what they're doing. And it's just focused on the main character, and he's going to help people, save people, and hunt down dungeons because he needs to get to the bottom of loads of these dungeons to get like the super magic that's hidden at the bottom of every dungeon. And it's really good. It's really hunting things. The demon plot is now coming along, and it is just literally coming into the story like a jackhammer. So it's not just focusing, because the first season, the reason Zeno hated it is it starts introducing all these girls that he's got here. We've got the dragon on the right, which is like a perverted dragon, the bunny girl, who's just a bunny girl, is really strong, and the lolly mermaid girl. It's like, okay, yeah, but it's now that it's introduced those characters, it's just getting on with the show, and I'm really liking it. I will keep watching it because it does do okay with its combat system. He isn't just overpowered, he does get beaten as well. It's really good. He can't just pull stuff out of nowhere. He has to show, you know, how he built it or whatever. So I feel it's quite grounded, and that's why in the season this came out, compared to other Isekais, I would have said it's bland, but then you compare it to the other stuff this season, and this doesn't seem as bland. So I'm actually liking this a lot. So there's not much more to say. I'll probably let you know how the arc of this season goes, because it is very focused on like the main character and his goal of hunting down all these magics and fighting demons. So that's very cliched, but at least it's getting on with stuff, which is good. All right, that's all I'm going to say about it. Yep, moving on.
Azza?
Oh, it's this one. Yes. So this is, imagine.
How does Nasuth only picks the ones I don't watch? Damn it! Right, tell me about it.
I will say this is probably just an acquired taste. Maybe even nothing special. It's in that general area. Imagine a fantasy setting where you've got your band of heroes.
Sorry, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Saiyuki is the tale of Journey to the West, right?
Yes,
Saiyuki
this is
Reloaded.
yeah. This is essentially Journey to the West, as I later found out. But so yes, fantasy setting. You got your heroes, but you also have guns, right? So you've got magic and guns, which sounds like a pretty good combination, and I think it actually would be. The problem is that this comes later in a series of other shows, and so I kind of went into this a little bit lost, and for that reason I'm probably not going to watch it. But I think if you're into that kind of anime, you might want to go back and watch the other Saiyukis. I'm actually thinking about doing that too when, you know, after I find some time, amongst other things. Yeah, so our characters are they're like part demon or some, I think they're part demon. But they kill other demons, and they're going to the west to try and stop the demons from spawning. That's about all I know. I think I did watch 3 episodes of it though. And it seemed like the animation seemed fine. It's a little shonen-y, but you've got your priest and your heavy and your rogue. It's your standard sort of fantasy party. I unfortunately don't have too much.
Yeah, don't feel like you have to say stuff, because obviously we have 2 hours, and if it's not worth saying anything, just let us know if you will continue watching this and where you place it now.
Yeah, I'd say. Sorry, my cat unplugged my microphone for.
Yeah.
I would say that again. Yeah, but I think if you know the story, I would say, acquired taste. Otherwise, kind of nothing special. It is just a retelling of Journey to the West, I suppose. Oh yeah, guns and cars, guns and jeeps.
Oh. Okay, cool. But are you going to continue watching it?
I am not, but like I said, I might go back and watch the older shows that this comes after.
Right. Okay. Well, if not, then do you want to move on to yours, Zeno?
Cool. I need to see what I got left. God, why do I have all the good shit? Right, okay.
You've got what, 2 left?
3. So I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to do this one, which is the Orbital Children. And this was sort of like a surprise. Hey, look, Netflix has just released a whole anime season. It's an OVA. It came out, I think it was like late last week. And it is it's a tale about these kids who end up stuck on a space station that is supposed to eventually become a hotel, and it's the dilemma between humans who want to advance in technology, in I don't want to spiritually, but they want to advance as a race, but then there's also humans that want to just keep everything stunted. They want to this is nice, we have control of this, we're not relinquishing control, we and
there's the present is nice and comfortable.
Yes. So, and a big part of this is very heavily revolved around artificial intelligence. Like, how much do you let AI learn? How much do you let AI grow? So on and so forth. We have 2 kids. It's very much a. I don't know if I want to say. Would you say The Goonies is a coming of age movie?
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Okay, then yes.
I never watched it, but I know what you mean. I think it would be counted in a coming of age sort of thing.
Yeah, so we have that sort of situation here with our kids, and they have to face some quite dangerous and nasty things to do with being on a space station. The hull ruptures. They have to make sure. Can I just check?
How did they get up there? And are they supposed to be up there?
Yes.
So 2 of them are up there because they were born on the moon and go to Earth, right? The other 3 were sent there via effectively the world's Google, right? So they won a competition and they were sent up to Earth. Sorry, sent up to the space station. They'd won a competition. So yeah, basically that's
they're all supposed to be there.
Yeah,
yes.
They're all supposed to be
and
there.
They have to fix the space station.
Well, there were adults.
Why haven't the adults?
They're still there.
Why'd they have to do anything then?
Right? Well, no, the problem is the space station is into an attack, right?
You're cutting out a lot, by the way.
You're cutting out, yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's not.
I got like the space station attack. Blah, blah, blah.
It has fallen victim to an attack.
Of what? Terrorisms?
Yeah.
Damn them terrorism.
Yeah. So basically the kids have to survive, right?
They're cut off. Like communication gets cut off between the different sections and Earth entirely, and yeah.
So that there is like much with things like Serial Experiment Lane, where there's a lot of self-reflection and things like that. That's what happens in this show as well. That's in the top right of the screenshot that's floating there. Pisses me off to no end, right? she is your stereotypical live streamer who every chance she gets, she will exploit it to further her follow account, right? And she inadvertently puts a lot of the team at risk through her stupidity, right? Because she's got to get those follower numbers, and I'm like, God, this reflects too badly on real life right now. I don't want to say much more. If you want to spend the time doing it, it's I'd say it's an acquired taste. The ending is one of those. Oh, I fucking hate her. The ending is one of those.
Little bit of a mindfuck.
Yeah. The ending's a bit of a mindfuck.
What? And happy, unhappy? Oh my
not
god,
telling
what's
you.
happening?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Give me the general flavor of things.
Nope.
Were you satisfied by it?
Oh God, yes.
I would give this a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Right. But yeah, that's all I want to say. I want to move us on to the next.
I also,
thing.
I want to say one thing. It's not spoilery or anything. I feel like they did, like, the science of the space station itself. I feel like they did that really well. Like somebody actually researched that when they wrote the script.
Yeah. Totally. So yeah, that's all I have to say on this one. It's
so good.
long. Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't say it's so good, but anyway, it's an acquired taste. So anyway, all right, should we move on to your next one, Nasuth?
No, it's Loz.
Should we move on to your next one, Loz? Sorry.
I will take Princess Connect, which will take me not very long to do because I just want to do it. So I'm literally gonna believe this. There's nothing to say. I didn't actually have a rating to the last one, which I would say if you've seen season 1, you enjoyed it. It would be a what do we say? Quiet taste. Same thing with this one. If you've seen season 1, it's a quiet taste. It's really fun. These 4 main characters just basically going about them. The main story is gonna probably kick off at some point, but it's very slow at first. Like the first episode of the second season is just getting back on. It's their adventure. Here you go. This is the end of their first episode. They're trying to get some stuff from this turtle, and it just hijinks ensue on their way there. It's a quiet taste. It's fun, enjoyable, lovely animation as you can see here. Look at the detail in that mountain it's on and the turtle back and things. It's cool, but I think this is the kind of show. Actually, same thing I said for Xeno in the first one. I don't think you would enjoy watching. I mean, look at that beauty. You don't really watch as you go. It's going to be those ones you would just blitz through, enjoy, and be like, yep, done, move on. Yeah, so it's quite a taste to kind of what was the middle, third one? Nothing special.
Nothing special.
It's kind of in that region. If you enjoyed the first season like that, it's quite a taste, if not that special. And I think this will be something I'll report more maybe on towards the end of the season and how well it achieves it. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Move on. Nasuth, you're next.
Oh God. Okay. Why does the bucket talk? I just want to know. I just want to know why the bucket talks. Okay. Right.
So before we start, Xeno, is this the one that you you rejected?
Yes, it is.
The Japanese and Chinese names and whatever. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Nasuth, what about this bucket? What are you talking about, man?
This is
bucket?
As you can see, Fantasia Sango, which I think, I remember correctly, is based on a game.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So they're in a world where there are demons created by like this miasma, and there are gods who want to stop it, but they can't intervene directly, so they task humans with it. And then there's this girl on screen right now who can draw in the miasma, which is how they get rid of it, in the end. But it also can turn her into a demon, which she can then fight other demons in that form. But if she goes too far, she'll lose control. And
will she become a demon if she loses control, or will she just kill herself?
It's not a spoiler because it's literally the opening scene. She kills her original team because she'd gone too far.
I don't think she killed all of them because I thought the last guy was the one that was a coward.
Yes, that was the last guy who ran away. But this is also I think where the bucket comes in. It was oh gosh.
Is that Guan Yu? Guan Yu. That's Guan Yu. Yeah. This is Three Kingdoms, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's Guan. Oh god, I need to go play more Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, I know that guy.
Okay.
He's cool.
So the bucket is called the Tea Caddy of Love, and the water that's inside of it is what turns her back to normal. And it talks, and I don't know why it talks, and it really, of all the things to be bothered by, including this fan service goddess, that is the thing that really, really bothers me. but every story beat is basically what you expect. The main character is determined because of his tragic past. The super special girl also has a tragic past that she doesn't remember. War is bad, just kind of shoved in your face. And the main character has to link himself to the girl to help. He's going to use his pure and just heart to help her stay balanced when she's in demon form. And yeah, that's, oh my god. I'm not watching this. It's nothing special. It's just bog standard sort of heroes versus demons sort of thing with the occasional fan service goddess.
Things be happening, yo.
Yeah. Character designs are decent if a bit trite. Yeah, that which basically sums up everything.
Nice.
Yeah, the animation's fine.
No. You are looking at a still, right?
It's true.
When I was watching it, I swear a lot of the scenes were animated on thirds or fours. It's just
I didn't really notice
what
that.
is that motion? It's like it feels like it's skipping beats so horribly.
I will also say that when they use their special attacks, those animations get reused over and over. Her attack we saw twice within like the span of a minute, and it was the exact same animation.
Wow.
So it looks pretty. It's not. There's not a lot of substance there.
So you're gonna keep watching it?
Nope. I
And
give
what
it.
grade
I
you
give
give
it
it?
a nothing special.
Nothing.
You're not
special.
gonna pass? You're
No.
not gonna watch it. Why aren't you giving it a pass?
Because it's nothing special. I don't have to watch nothing special.
Yeah.
If you wanna see your
I like that,
basic
no, that-
trite,
yeah.
go for it.
You
But
could
it's
have nothing.
it is
this
nothing special.
Yeah, there's nothing special, but I'm gonna keep watching it, and nothing special, but I don't want to watch it. Those are different from literally like the one we had at the start, which is like just pass on this. Just there's not even worth looking at it for weirdness.
Yeah.
You know? I like that we've got a bit of a difference there. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, that's fine. Fine,
What are you on
fine.
to next, Zeno? You've got Sabikui Bisco, Miss Kuroitsu left, I think, too.
Oh my god, I want to give them all the time. Okay, Sabikui Bisco.
Oh, I love that
Right,
one.
so-
That's,
I think all three of us are watching Bisco.
I will watch it. I have not yet. I want to.
Okay.
The premise got me. I just haven't found time.
Personally, this is a must watch.
Mhm.
This is a God.
Yes,
I want to watch
yes,
this now.
rhino tanks
Right.
and giant crabs. I
No,
mean,
that's a hippo. That's a hippo.
sorry, hippo tanks.
Yeah. So, post-apocalypse, the world has been poisoned by some kind of rust, right? It's a rust that just devours fucking everything. Animals have become gigantic in size, hence the giant crab that we saw a moment ago. And it's a very weird world setting. It doesn't honestly explore a lot of the world setting, which I feel is a bit of a shame. But the characters are so damn likable, right? The characters are they have so much motivation behind them. It's really cool to see. The main two protagonists, we have the panda and we have Bisco. Sorry, we have the doctor. Sorry, the doctor
Dr.
has
Panda.
Dr. Panda. He has a weird, I don't know if it's a birthmark or what, but he has this like black spot around his eye, black area around his eye, and thus he's referred to as a panda. Their objective is to explore the world to find the one mushroom, right, that can eat the rust. Now, again, very weird world setting.
How do they know it exists?
Good question.
Well, there are
So-
mushrooms that already do eat the rust. It's just that this one would be like so
is it
powerful it could clean everything.
So humans have also been infected by the rust and are dying from he's dying from a bullet wound. But the rest,
And the rust.
No.
And the rust.
And the rest, yeah. But the like, you know, we'll see screenshots hopefully of characters that have been infected by the rust, and you know, the super mushroom, special mushroom, is supposed to clean the human body of the rust. I don't know how rust has gotten like into the human body.
I think they just call it rust, but it's not actually like actual rust.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You could somehow say that like the oxidation of the iron in the hemoglobin of your blood. I mean that could rust in some weird way, but it wouldn't be rust. It would be weird and you know.
It's weird. This is again like I would like more of the world setting to be explored and things.
For some reason that they don't want people to know that mushrooms are good, so everyone thinks mushrooms are bad.
Yeah,
and
they've been told
so
mushrooms are bad. Now, I can't... Right, okay, so we can justify this, right? Because the main character's weapon... Sorry, Bisco's weapon of choice is a bow and arrow. But the arrows are laced with a special chemical that instantly grows tree-sized mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
So he will fire them at, like, planes, buildings, and just completely wreck up the place with this. So I can appreciate at least mushrooms are bad.
Yeah, I wrote down specifically, one of the things I've been telling other people about this show is mushroom terrorism. That's all you need to know. Mushroom terrorism.
The other thing I really want to highlight, the first 3 episodes have a mixed chronological order. So events of all, they basically show the past and the present at the same time in the first 3 episodes. After which, it's in a normal, natural chronological order, right? So we've only had the 4th episode afterwards, but it doesn't leave room to go and explore different points in the narrative. It's just like, nope, we just got this one point in the narrative now. That was actually a bit of a concern of mine after the 3rd episode, but yeah, it's cleaned up and things. The characters are likable. As I said, the world setting is just so weird and just off the rails.
I actually do want to say something about the characters, if that's all right.
Go on.
I thought so. Bisco is set up initially as a terrorist, as kind of a bad guy, right? But I think they used the flashbacks to really humanize him with his interactions with his mentor. Like all that stuff, I think was a really good choice to make sure that you can look at him as more than just a mushroom terrorist.
Yeah. So, crap, I can't remember what I was going to say.
World setting is really weird.
Yeah, it's like, so it seems like there's a lot of emphasis on the animals. One of the events that's caught a lot of the internet's eyes is in the trailer, where effectively our doctor is kissing a woman and then just pulls this like giant lava from her mouth, right? That is elaborated on in the 4th episode, and effectively people are poisoned with these, it's like a balloon worm that if it's not kept sedated with a drug, it literally just expands and kills the person. Yeah. So, it's again explored in the 4th episode, but it feels like there's so much thought out design in the world, but there's not enough observing it. So, but I would say this is a must-watch.
The things are happening, it's interesting and it's giving detail, but it's not giving the time to sit back and reflect on those so you can understand them. It's just giving you the next, wow, that's weird, that's weird, that's weird.
Yes. Yeah, very, very much so. Cool. Right. So, must watch. I'm gonna, any questions or I'll hand it.
Was that the
to
Rust?
Yes, the Rust, yeah.
Rust. So, yeah,
Right.
it's
Oh, that's
super
such a
weird.
cool character too. She's awesome.
Right, well, I think we'll be hearing more about this one. Yep, cool.
Yep. So, move on.
What?
Loz?
Did he cut it out there? I didn't hear what he said.
Little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to your next one?
Yeah, sure. What have I got left? I think I got 2 left.
You've got what? Princess Connect
Genius.
and
No,
No,
Princess
no.
Connect.
Genius
and Police.
Yes,
Box.
I'll do
Yeah.
Genius because I want to finish in Police in a Pod. So can I have the Genius? The Genius Prince's Guide to whatever it is, to raising a nation out of debt.
Got it.
So, I really enjoy the show. This is, for me, this is a must-see, but I think some people, it might be, I think especially for Xeno, it's a acquired taste.
No, this is a must-see.
Oh, okay. I've watched all 4 episodes that have been out at this point. It's really cool. So the setting is we have it seems to be a continent, kind of like an oval-shaped continent with lots of different regions in it, with little kingdoms, all sort of either being at peace or squabbling for supremacy over each other at times. And so we're at the very north, sort of this point in this oval, sort of egg-shaped sort of shape. And this is our main character here. I don't remember the names. His name is Prince Protagonist. His dad has fallen ill. He is now the one in charge of the country. And he is a layabout. He just wants to lay about and not do anything. In fact, he even jokes the first episode he just wants to sell off the kingdom so he can relax and do nothing. Sadly, his kingdom is in a bit of debt as well. It's not there. You go on the map and behind him, that little that blob at the top. That's his kingdom. And there's to the south east. This is the Empire down here, and then there's some other kingdoms to the west that you can do. And other kingdoms want to squash him because they're kind of out of the way, but they're kind of seen as weak. But he is a layabout, which wants to lay about, but at the same time he is quite clever and is Always thinking 3 steps ahead. He also has an assistant girl, and it is not entirely explained about this girl. She is some sort of to the kingdoms to the west. I think she's seen as a slave-esque race or something, but in the empire to the east, they're at least accepted, and it seems to be his almost best friend, I would say. However, he can't have romantic. Even the girl said, I doubt he can't marry this girl, especially because he's a prince. Because she's this blonde and this white-haired girl here. Yeah. She's seen as as a lesser race almost. So she jokes to a character who says, "Well, I thought you were going to marry the prince guy." It's like, oh no, if he did that, I'd have to kill myself because I couldn't demean him by doing that. But she's an amazing character as well. They're both really smart. And normally thinking 7 steps ahead. However, normally the reason why they're thinking 7 steps ahead is to outmaneuver people who do things to them, all for the goal of just laying about. He just wants to focus on making money and just being lazy. He doesn't want to engage with these things. But nations try to invade him or attack him, and he has to deal with them. And then whenever he tries to do things, people obviously undersee how effective he is, and he has planned ahead to this point that that it normally goes so bad for the people invading him, but so he gets a great victory out of these things. He doesn't want great victories out of these things. He just wants to go back and do nothing. And it's brilliant to see his interactions for it. To the point that even in other episodes, I remember we've heard this in, I hope Zeno, you've seen all 4 episodes, Zeno?
No, only 3 of them.
But for I remember Zeno complained about
first one.
Oh god, what is it? No. You complain about what's the one? Death Note, because it's like, or was it you both? He's thinking that I'm thinking that she's thinking that he's thinking, or that. Yeah. This does that, but it's hilarious the way this does this because it's along the lines of, they want me to do this, so they're gonna think they'll do this by saying this. But don't, and then you go to the other person, it's like, but I know he's a layabout, so he's going to try and get at it by doing this. She'll know that I'm a layabout, so I'm going to trick her by doing this. And it's really great. I really like the characters. It doesn't take
itself seriously.
It's just a lot of fun. And he is clearly smarter than everyone around him. It's sort of, but at the same time, not overly so. And he doesn't just instantly win. And his wins are almost fails for him because he normally wins more than he means to, which only causes him more problems when he just wants to do nothing. I really enjoy it. It does a little bit first. He just gets on with it, and it could do more interesting explaining the background of things. And you don't know anything about like his father who is ill. We've not even seen this character, but I think he's just a plot device out of the way so that he can be the one in charge.
So there's a couple of things I want to highlight. I'm pretty sure he has older siblings, but the running doesn't he? I thought he had.
And no other siblings have been explained or brought. Only this is younger sister.
I could have sworn he had older brothers.
No. No, I'm pretty sure not. That's why he's the one in charge of the kingdom.
Yeah, because the other brothers are defending the front line against the Empire.
Yeah, no, not at war with the Empire.
Oh,
are you sorry, have you watched episode 3?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about that girl there's older brothers? She has 3 older brothers.
Oh, maybe I am. I am.
So she's from the Empire. She's the youngest of 4 of the royals from the Empire. And the 3 brothers are in the Empire, yeah. He's not. Right. He's just by himself. Yeah.
The other thing to point out is the strategic importance of his kingdom.
No, it's not very strategically important at all.
No, because it's I thought there was a mountain line between the 2 sides, apart from that one kingdom, that one kingdom faces 2 others.
So
if the Empire gets
that hasn't really come up. It's normally down on his kingdom. It's out of the way. It's a backwater kind of thing.
I thought it was that they spoke about it in the 3rd episode. That they wanted to they kept it secret. They kept neutral because the other 2 nations on the other side of the mountains were giving them crap about it. You can't join it. You can't join it. You join it, we invade.
No, I don't remember that. I have to watch it again. I don't remember that being a thing, but okay. I remember him just being this out of the way thing. It's just like, we're all the way back here. No one really cares about us.
Okay. Maybe things.
That's why they get attacked in the first episode, because they're looked down on. But secretly, he actually got his troops trained with the Empire, and those troops are really highly trained, and he just crushes people. Yes. Oh damn it! I really enjoy it. So I would definitely say this is worth a watch. It does get things done. I feel a show like this could just get bogged down in interactions, but it keeps going forward, and I love it.
You have to watch at least the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's not an isekai and it's not a slice of life, right?
It's just a fantasy.
No, it's
just a
fancy. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in.
Is it Mizuno, or does this look like Thingy from ReZero? Yeah, with those clothes.
Wait, I thought this was Amelia from ReZero.
To be fair, this is just a winter outfit when she's out in the cold. Yeah.
To be fair, people are saying that she's best girl, and I'm like,
oh, she's okay.
Really?
She's not best girl. I would say Doll Girl is best girl.
Yeah.
I would say though, no, yeah, because we don't really know that much about this girl either.
We know nothing about this girl.
Well, we know she's got some, her thing, and that she's loyal to Thing, and they both went to the academy together, and that's about it. Yeah, I would say Doll Girl's best girl. Not that I do like this character. She's all right. She's interesting, and she's a good foil for our main character. You know, making him do things when he's like, I want to sit around and do nothing. You have to do this now. It's like, she's great, but she's not best girl. No. Anyway, I definitely think it's worth not watching. Nasuth, I think you will enjoy it as well, because and the reason I like it is because it's about the politics and the intrigue, really. Is the main premise of it, and it's good. Yeah, I enjoy it. Right, moving on. I do feel this is going to have a good arc by the look of it, because he's not going to be allowed to sit in a corner and do nothing, and I think it's going to be great. By the end of the season, we'll be talking about this.
Awesome. Right, so I guess this is actually my last one.
Oh,
this
might be our longest episode.
Tokyo 24th.
It's always Nasuth has the ones he just picks the ones I don't watch. Damn it! How does he?
Yeah.
It's like he's definitely gonna watch this doll one. I'll watch this doll one.
Well, I think
you just need to learn my tastes yet first.
The weird ones. That's what you. Pick.
Yeah.
He goes like, "Oh, so, what are you watching? These? Okay, I'm gonna watch something else entirely." And you pick what I watch.
Although we did both watch. Well, we kind of watched Orient and definitely Sabikui Bisco.
Right, so what's this, Nasuth?
Yes.
You did tell me to watch this as well, and I will, but I just haven't had time yet. Right.
So I liked the OP so much, I went and looked up the band. It is Survive Said the Prophet, so they did the OP and the ending. And they also did the opening for Vinland Saga. So if you've seen that and you like that, good strong opening. Which always pleases me. Yeah.
If these openings are good, would you say maybe these are potential contenders for best of the year? Obviously, we're in the first.
Potentially,
yeah.
Potentially,
cool.
Ooh, I love when it does that.
His eyes are breaking the thing.
Yeah. So the weird eyes. This deals a lot with like consciousness and some transhumanism and potentially brainwashing. I'm not sure. Lots of like philosophical concepts. What is being alive? What is, they literally have a trolley problem in the first episode, a trolley dilemma in the first episode, like a literal trolley dilemma. Either kill a girl or everyone on the train dies, right? I'm sorry, let it kill a girl. She's their best friend, like best friend of the entire group.
Catch the train. Never mind. Keep going.
But so they get a call from their dead friend, right? Who warns them about this. She's dead, but they get a call, and suddenly, like all their abilities are boosted. The hacker can hack faster. The athletic guy can run faster. The police guy can like read people and get things out of them easier. But it's so weird. I really like it. So the episode 1, very strong, like good action, good introduction to the characters. You get to see a little bit of their past. But episode 2 kind of really slows down, so be prepared for that. It goes deeper into the characters and their bonds and that sort of thing. And we get a little bit of that in episode 3 as well, but it ends on a nice strong note. Trying to think of anything else.
What's the setting here? What world are we in?
So it is. Oh, yes, good point. It is the very near future, but it's an alternate timeline where the U.S. occupied Japan for quite a while, and they built a artificial island off the coast, and that's the 24th Ward, and that is finally going to be incorporated with the rest of the country, which has been free for a while, but this one ward hasn't been. And so it's like there's bits of transhumanism, like
Sorry, for the dumb and unintelligent, it's past 11 p.m. at night. Individuals in this chat, what does transhumanism mean?
So it's like it's moving beyond just being, biological evolving humans. It's taking control of that.
Yeah, the limitations of a biological Homo sapien and what that means as an outline, and moving into something else. Obviously, you could do that through replacing people's arms with robotics. They're no longer, they're stronger than a Homo sapien now. Transhumanism, so going beyond it through different ways. Now, obviously, some people do it through mental, psychic,
upload into your mind to the internet,
but it also counts for augmenting a human beyond human-centered transitioning beyond human. Yeah.
Cool.
Which is I don't know why these guys why this guy can suddenly run really, really, really fast and stop a train physically, but I'm really curious to find out.
Are we gonna hack
yeah, I don't know what this is either. They've shown a couple of scenes with it, and there may be a holographic AI there. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm really intrigued so far. It's definitely an acquired taste thing. I can't say must watch, but if you're into that kind of weird, quirky sci-fi with some philosophy thrown in, you'll probably enjoy it.
I'm confused by this. I'm glad you said acquired taste and not a must watch.
No.
So she was gonna die, but an alternative version of herself. No. Different
friend. Sorry. In their past, there was a fire at their school, and Blue Hair Boy ran in there to try and save his girlfriend, maybe. I don't know. She was important to the group in some way, at least. And he got there just in time to see her die because she'd been crushed by some rubble. So she's the one.
Girl.
I believe dark-haired pink girl is the one that's still alive, and light-haired pink girl is the one that died.
Who's the dark-haired pink girl? I thought we only seen one.
Don't know if I got any pictures of her.
Okay.
Which is my bad.
So one's in the screenshots. Oh, great. Fucking internet piece of shit. Is it better now?
Yes.
Nope, still trash.
No. I can.
What is? Oh my god! I just see my internet randomly spike. Anyway, the girl that we have the screenshots of that we've seen, is that the dead one?
That's the dead one.
Okay, so she died when they were kids. See, he's just as confused, right? She died when they were kids, and then she called them up to say dark pink-haired girl's gonna die to a train?
Yes, so dark pink-haired girl chased her dog onto the train tracks like an idiot, and got trapped, got her foot stuck under one of the
as you do
rail tie. Yeah, as you do. And the train is automated, so they can't stop it. And so the dead girl called all of them on their phones and gave them a vision. Either she dies or you derail the train and everyone there dies. But she also is like, or she hints at, or you can do something to pick a third option. And so they have to come up with that on their own.
Hack the Gibson.
It's sort of like choose your own future. Don't let fate. That pink-haired girl.
Oh, is that the dark?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh.
I think you have to watch it to fully understand, Xeno.
Yeah, this. I don't know if it's the time or it's just hurting my head. So, right, okay. So you're saying it's an acquired taste? An acquired taste.
I am going to continue watching it because I'm really, really intrigued. They've kind of hinted at a bad guy, but there's no definite, thing there.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So let's go on to. I've got no more questions, and I think I'm gonna watch this. I'm definitely gonna, because I want to keep up. I don't want Nasuth to have all these weird ones I don't get to watch.
That's me. I get the weird ones.
Yeah, not this. I'm gonna watch them. I want to be able to talk with Nasuth. So yeah, Xeno, do you want to move on to your last one?
Okay.
which is a goodie. The Bloody needs to come out more, but Bloody keeps getting bloody delayed because it's
Has
bloody
it been bloody
annoying.
delayed again?
Has it been
I
delayed?
don't know, not
Oh.
again, but it's like it's.
It
I just,
only got delayed once. Right.
well,
So
I
this
don't know.
is
You never know. More might be. If you see one that, come on, 86 taught you nothing.
right. This is Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department. I love this. I really enjoy this show. It is. It feels like a tribute to Tokusatsu, which we don't particularly cover, and it shines it in a completely different light, where businesses are trying to so where evil organizations are trying to take over Japan, as they do. I don't think there's ever an end goal. It's just, we've got to take over Japan.
Yeah.
But,
And then the world, probably.
But they have to do it in a modern day setting. So there are rules, there are regulations. This evil organization can't just be on the moon, right?
Yeah, they can't just be in their magical space fortress on the moon.
You know,
they have to exist in the real world, which means that people need feeding. They need to plan within their budgets. They need to...
they need budgets. They need to make sure that they have a revenue stream, you know, and there's so much to it. It's very tongue-in-cheek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is subtle tongue-in-cheek. This isn't like in your face, right? This doesn't have a laugh track to go with it to make it up. Like, so we got our researcher. She's doing a presentation to the board of the next monster to fight their Rider-esque protagonist, right? Well, he's kind of
I can't remember his name. Yeah.
No. Oh, it's Blader.
Later, that's right.
The nemesis of their evil organization.
Yes, right. And they have to do it within such weird restrictions, and like this screams to me my job, right? Oh, we need to do this. We have to get approval from so and so in order to do that. No. We have to do this by the book. So they go like, oh, standard procedure. You can't have all these mounted guns on this robot. You should do it with just one gun. I was like, fine. So we change things. It's like, that custom armored plating, that's gonna take weeks to develop. You're gonna have to strip that away. And like it's like, I have to deal with this shit in my job. Anyone that has like realistically an office job has all this bureaucracy behind any of the shit that they have to do. And this really packages it well in this bullshit
episode
setting.
The episode with the inter group project where they had to work with other departments.
Yes.
That one, that one was. I was like, oh, well, that's total office life,
right? The my favorite one.
But the way they twist it, like, oh my god. Yeah,
my favorite one is the first episode where they introduce. So they've been developing for months this wolf man, right? This beast character who is out to he's supposed to be the ultimate weapon to destroy Blade, right? And they develop him, and just before they launch, so they take the consciousness and put it in the body. The CEO turns up. Who's this little girl? You know, our Rita Repulsa, right? If you've ever watched Power Rangers, she turns up and decides that the guy's not cute enough and has to be a cute girl instead. And when the character wakes up, he's like, "Wait a second, I'm not a guy. What's going?" You know, and
no, I'm not a girl.
They don't have the budget
or the girl's body. Yeah,
they don't have the budget or the time to grow a new body. Are you crazy?
It's fucking hilarious how much this reflects real life. And like, oh yeah, I've been there. I've fucking been there when someone turns around last minute and says like, oh no, it needs to have this on there. It's like, well, we need to push back the deadline. No, you can't push back the deadline. It's still got to go out tomorrow. Like, when you fucking expect? Oh my god, yeah. So I love it for the satire nature of business life, while also reflecting. Yeah, reflecting tokusatsu and things like that. So I love the series. It's hilarious. And again, I'm sad that the second episode, third episode, one of the episodes
delayed. I think.
Yeah, it got delayed by a week, and I'm like, oh god, I just hope it doesn't happen again. But yeah, so that's it for this one. I do classify this as an acquired taste, but seriously, please watch it. It's so good. It is like it's.
Yeah, I would say it's a quiet taste. If I was like a teenager or something watching this, I'd probably be like, this is a bit weird, and probably wouldn't get all the jokes. I'd understand like, this is seeing it from the villains and Power Ranger villains kind of side thing and enjoy that. But anyone who's worked in any department office or any business and had to see projects that then have to combine multiple things will just the second episode alone will be hilarious to you. There's some this is clearly like I think in America this is an interesting thing. So in America they make things like Office Space and Dilbert, which will be mocking the work environment. This is how the Japanese do it. I'm not saying this is the Japanese version of Dilbert. It's not that at all. But it's that kind of parodying the work environment in a fun way. This is the Japanese version style of interpreting that and poking fun at it.
This is much more news radio than an Office, I think.
Yeah, it's just so funny. It's like I can't stand The Office, right? But this, honestly, right. I'm done. I'm gonna hand over to what?
I just wanted to say a couple of things. It takes that office worker and it oozes with personality and parody, and it just makes it so watchable. And then the other thing, the big scary second in command, Magistus, easily best waifu of the season. And I decided this during the mobile game scene on the train.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's brilliant when he has to play. He plays it both hardcore and casually.
Just watch it. Yeah, just watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
However,
right, Loz's last one.
Right, the best show of this season. I'm sorry, is Police in a Pod. I wanted to say Doll was the best thing this season because I just literally didn't mean to watch it. I was like, okay, I'll watch this to fit something different into my thing, and I'll watch that. Then I think Zeno was saying you should watch Police. It's like, why? Because it's different. It's good. You should watch it. I got something like that, just a blurb of things. I was like,
I gave you more than that.
No. It was something simple that I maybe been distracted. I'm not saying in a bad way. You're saying it was just, you should watch this a bit different, and it was good. And I went, okay, I want to watch more things because I do want to talk about more things in this when we come to this episode. And so I started watching this, and I was gonna watch one episode of this, one episode of Tokyo of the 24 thing that Naz was watching, and then one of the Rust thing. That was my plan for the evening. I watched 4 episodes of this, and I wanted the next episode immediately. I love this show. This is become in one night my favorite show of the season. This is basically just real world police people. I don't need to. It's no fantasy setting. Yeah. It's no sci-fi. Yeah. It's no anything. It is just police people and drama in between them, and it is amazing. It's interesting because you'll learn a bit about Japanese culture towards policemen and that environment and what it means to them and how they interact with it. It's a hilarious comedy at points because it is just laughable at points. I just smiling and grinning up partway through. Also, it's deadly serious. It can just flip I'm not saying on a dime, but it would just be like, right, we have to be mature policemen at this point. We have to go deal with a dead body. And they don't shy away. They don't just do it off screen. They actually show you how. And I assume this must be quite true. I assume it's not. This isn't alternative Earth. This is just Earth. I assume this is how they will deal with a dead body in Japan and what they have to do. And you see the consequences on where people. And it's really interesting to see the way they have to deal with the body and the way they observe the body, what they have to do with the body, and then the actions thereof of our characters. It's great. That's in one episode. There's no point putting spoilers because it's just police people doing things, and it is great. And we also get really serious. Like I say, it's not a comedy police show. and it's not a deadly serious police show with like drama and shootouts and things. I think this is, it's just kind of real life. They have to deal with both.
It's a
Sometimes
dramedy.
laughing.
It's a dramedy.
It's dramedy, yeah. Sometimes they're dealing with real life, sometimes it's comedy, and I just love it. It's just so good. The characters feel real and interesting, and I just want to watch more. I don't think I can even say much more about it because it's just watch it. It's just police people doing police stuff, and it's great. It's just great.
Would you say that it goes pretty naturally between the two extremes of comedy and drama?
Absolutely. It's just like
that's,
trying to be.
That's always a
real
concern
life.
of mine. I don't want tonal whiplash.
No, it's not tonal whiplash at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's not super slapstick comedy,
right?
But it is quite funny, and it can be quite funny in a normal serious way. It's great. Yeah, I just love it. I just want to see more of it. Here's an example of comedy actually. So this is our two main female characters is what we're following around. This is the character, she wants to quit, and she's our main character, I would say. And then the other girl's the girl with the ponytail, who's a bit more of a wizened, serious cop who's kind of been demoted from being too much of an elbow person fighting around. So she's been demoted down to being a cop again, and neither of them want to be like the brochure say for policewomen, which is like they even have this brochure where it's like a kneeling police officer with the arm on a little girl and like pointing like, yeah, over there. And then at one point one of them accidentally mimics the brochure and then gets really annoyed about it and runs off. And it's really quite it's just brilliant. It's like, no, I did the brochure and runs off. It's
all right, I'll watch it. Fine.
This is this is a must watch.
This is a must watch.
I think the cultural implications. I don't think I've seen anything from Japan that reveals the culture, in like that this covers. Right, the whole nature of I didn't know that they did that. To give a bit more clarity on the whole bit with the death, it's a natural death, and they go before they do anything, they show their respects to the body, right? Which I didn't even know was part of Japan's culture, right? I assume it's an accurate depiction, but yeah, honestly, I thought they didn't have to go into that detail, but it's very much it kind of promotes working in the Japanese police force.
Yeah,
they show that we had that with things like Stargate, SG-1, where that kind of promote working in the Air Force, thank you. And yeah, so this is very similar in nature, where it promotes realistically the life of a police officer.
I mean, I would say Gate was trying to promote the Japanese Defense Force, but both SG-1 and Gate have their magical powers and whatever, or aliens and things. This doesn't do any of that. This is just normal life. Yeah. There's no. I don't think there's going to be any overarching story apart from police people going about police things, and there's not any great villain. There's not any magic powers and no sci-fi things. It's just police building police things, and it's. Oh man, I loved it. I think there's another episode out. I haven't watched it. I'm going to have to watch that.
I don't think there is. There's only 4.
I don't know, or it might be out tomorrow or something like that.
Oh, it actually might have been out today.
Yeah, Well, I'll watch it straight after this.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
And so there's little cultural things which are really interesting to see. I do enjoy anime that teach you about Japanese life and culture. So the thing they refer to it as a police box. Is it box?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, police box, obviously Doctor Who is just like a call box or whatever. Or, I mean, to me, it's the police station. It's a bigger thing. But, Xeno has explained to me that they have lots of little more local things. The one you actually see in the show is actually quite a large one for a police box, but you get even smaller ones where there'll just be like a person sitting in a box and you have an issue, you go deal with them. And it just feels really interesting, the way that the criminals and the normal civilians react to it, that it's just a police box. We're not talking about the super police or Pat Labor thing we had the other week. They're big arching things. These are small scale things, and this is just daily life. And I feel it really grounded.
It's like a guy in a ticket booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we also get really mundane things like this one here, which I won't explain, but it's really mundane, basic stuff, and it's just really interesting to see the way they have to handle and deal with just normal civilian things. And but it also gives a good reflection. I think again, I assume this is an example of the way the police is. You see about the bravado of the male police officers in the criminal investigation and how it compares them even to the criminals. That how can you tell the difference because they're all with the coiffed hair? I can't remember what it's called. Pompadour and things like that, and it's like the female character's like, oh, I don't want to go in there. Why? Because just all the men, they look like villains, and it's just it's so good. It just I love it. I absolutely love it. This became in one night my favorite one of the season. I don't know if that will hold up, but it's definitely a must watch. Just stamp that on must watch. Bam. All right. Yep, that's it.
Cool. Right.
So good. And we need to end on that. So let's move on.
We are done with this week's topic. So we're going to move on to the supporter questions.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right. So
I didn't have my things charged up, that's why I'm all bleh. But next week I'll
yeah, that's fine. Before I read out Zerugel says, before I read out the supporter questions, I just want to thank you all for watching or listening this far to our podcast. Please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment if there's anything you'd like to say. We read them all. So, Zerugel asks, have you considered getting mugs or tankards to drink from while you're doing the show? After I wrote that, I remember that only Xeno does the webcam thing, unless it would get a VR mug.
There would be models which can summon mugs and things that I could use, but I change a model every time. I'm moving to a new place. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to use VR there, so I might just go back to using a webcam. It depends. If it is, I will be definitely investing in a mug and drinking properly and whatever for the things in the future. So we'll see.
Cool. So, Thaylien... What the fuck? Thaylien brilliantly... As the topic last week were all hidden gems, there were plenty to discuss. But they weren't, by any stretch of the imagination, actually comprehensive. The world of anime is vast, and the question has to be asked if there are any shows that you enjoyed that definitely aren't in the mainstream of the anime genres, but you don't quite qualify as the gems of your watching history. To put it in another way, what hidden semi-precious stones do you remember?
That's really hard, actually.
Yeah. But they were to us hidden gems. They're ones which aren't always popular. And the thing is, we're not just going to do that once. We'll probably have more of that. So look to the future. There'll be more. Or do you mean actual gems? Like I think
it's trying to something like that's middle of the road, but people don't really know about.
I think he's saying like, what other hidden gems would you recommend that you didn't recommend last time? And I think the important thing here is that we're going to do another one of those episodes in the future. So
stay tuned.
Driver. Right. So the next who said that? Next question from Brilliant Thaylien. Going against my usual questions, I'm going to ask one that's a little closer to my fanboy heart. In 2012, a series that many consider a stepping stone, I bet it's JoJo, of the entire to anime was effectively cancelled, despite the manga continuing on to 2016 and completing the story. On the 22nd of January, news came that come from Taita Kubo, author of the iconic Bleach series, that the final arc is to be finished at last and aired on Crunchyroll. Despite the show not appearing in 2021 as originally promised, the final series is still in production, and fans like me are eagerly awaiting the conclusion. What other thoughts of the Kanpai crew on the show? Bleach, and have you any plans to watch it?
Never watched it.
That. What you guys? So what you're actually asking is, what do you guys think about Bleach?
Yeah,
Save some time.
No, he's got to ask.
It's Thaylien, yeah.
You challenged him, Loz, and now his questions are always long.
That's nah. There's long, and then there's just waffle. That was waffle. That could have been asked.
That's how you make a long question.
Did you guys watch Bleach? What did you guys think of it? Are you guys going to watch the next thing of it? And that's enough, because it's like, or let us know what he thought of it. I just think, yeah. But no, I watched all Thaylien, all of the previous Bleach. I love Bleach. It was good. Even the filler, all of the filler, the pointless, repetitive, the same filler arc, every filler arc that was the same filler arc, every filler arc. And then I even watched the final season, that got aired, which was the one that was kind of, I thought it was all right, but I could see it was almost like a pseudo filler arc, but I enjoyed it. And yeah, I know I used to keep an eye on the wiki of what the rest was happening. Bleach used to have some of the best music intros and outros ever, and that would be great because that might win the year. But I really liked it, and I'd like to see it finished off. It'd be good. I was thinking they were going to do a fresh reboot and start again and do a full blah, 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 blah. What am I thinking of? Yeah, I thought they might do a Full Metal Alchemist and start again and then redo it all differently. But yeah, no, if they're just going to do the final season, that's great. Yep.
Never watched it.
If you want to, Nasuth, watch like the first 20 episodes and see if you like it, because that's a good thing. No, actually, no, that's not even that.
Commit time to watch 20 episodes.
No, sorry, I've gotten it wrong there. Sorry, no, my brain actually got that wrong. It's almost like you have to get 20 episodes in before, like, it starts off very villain of the week, as in, like, he's got these powers and he has to fight a new enemy every week, and then it's like all our set episode 20 when we're like, oh, by the way, we've got this really cool, like, otherarching story that we can get to.
My goodness.
And then the first arc from there, from like 20 to 80, is really cool, and then kind of fumbles a bit at the end, which we'll hate about Bankai's, and then it just gets a bit bogged down.
And then it gets cancelled.
It's a great example.
It ran out of material.
It ran out of material. I think it did get cancelled actually.
Okay.
It might have also because it didn't want to go on hiatus, so cancel it. But for Naz's benefit, it's another perfect example of what I call Dragon Ball Z power level syndrome. Where
yes.
The next villain always has to be more powerful, and in that they sort of set up. It's really good at first because they set up like this is this level, and then there's like lieutenant level and captain level, and then there's obviously like things that could be beyond captain level. But then like oh my god, these new villains are like more powerful than captains. And then the people who they were measuring that against, the captains, within like 40 episodes later, when they have to fight these villains, the captains just become more powerful. They're like, what? And it's just like, it just suffers from that problem. And it's just, don't, if you're going to have a power level system, like Naruto did, and many people moan about it, did a really good job of sticking to power levels and it being more about people, how they applied their powers. And then when it came to the very end, then you can break all the barriers and have people firing energy beams and be all like beyond things, because that's the climax. That's when you save it for. If you do the climax, it's really hard to then the next season get those same characters to fight a new villain. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Is that it for sport questions?
I haven't answered.
You don't like Bleach. You don't like Bleach.
I watched the first 100 odd episodes of Bleach.
He's gonna say the B word in a sec.
I'm gonna say the B word?
Then he started watching the Bound arc. And then no.
Oh, no. That's within the first 100 episodes.
Oh, is it? I think, yeah, it might be.
But so the point, everything Loz said about the power creep, that's 100% true. I read more of the manga. I got ahead. It's just like, no, power creep is the power creep is strong with this one. I stopped, and I have no interest in watching the final season. There you go. That is it for the supporter questions. And now we're gonna get on and do the
Community
comments
response?
from last week.
Yeah.
So the comments from last week. So Edward Paddock says, Lane confused almost everyone. Many viewers, after watching all 13 episodes, had no idea what it was about at all. The phrase "Lane hurts my brain" was often echoed. I have heard it explained as Matrix without the guns.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Fair. So another this is a first timer. Your soft idea TV show series movie anime tutorial,
which sounds like a bot. Sounds like a bot to me.
That is the name.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, boss. Yeah.
Here are some more hidden gems and forgotten masterpieces that deserve more love and appreciation you might want to check out. They proceeded to send us a list of 87 shows.
I mean, I know, at least I know where to go
yeah.
to look for my next hidden gems.
Yep, there are some absolute bangers in that.
So just let the person know if they're watching. I assume we will probably save that list of 87 shows. Thank you for saying Probably all have a look through it, see if we agree with any of them, and maybe pick out a few that we might watch and agree with you on. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. 87 shows. Cool.
Nick Evans said, on the topic of adaptations from early anime, with Escaflowne, Tekkaman, Sailor Moon having characters and names changed, nothing really competes with the war crimes that were committed on One Piece. Major plot points like Zoro's childhood friend literally being dead was retconned. Sanji's cigarette was turned into a lollipop. And the music, intro, 90% of the combat, entire sections revolving around characters actually being injured. The 4Kids adaptation was so bad that I genuinely never watched past the first few episodes.
Oh.
It took me reading the manga before I realized how bad the 4Kids adaptation was, allowing my brain to get around the strangeness so I could get back into it. And even then, I watched subbed anime. So I completely get this because the sword character Zoro, the idea was that his childhood friend was a better swordsman than he was, Carl, right? But she ends up dying, and he ends up inheriting her sword, her katana, and it's the white-handled one that he holds in his mouth, right? But in the 4Kids dub, they changed it that she went away, right?
Oh.
And I had someone I knew turn to me, and like I was at an anime convention, and she goes, "Oh, so and so is going to be really upset with Zoro." I was like, "Oh, Zolo for a start, right?" And I was like, "What? Why?" And because of all the teeth marks in the hilt of her sword. I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, when she comes back from her trip, her training.
Trip to the farm.
I turned to her. I said, "She's dead." I was like, "What?" It was like I didn't realize what I'd done. Like the facial expression on this girl just dropped through the floor. I'm like, "I'm sorry, but yeah, no, she's not coming back." In the Japanese version, she died.
Yeah, and because of that, there's no way there was ever going to be animated footage for the American one for it to be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was just completely baffled. Anyway, so yes, I completely agree with Nick Evans on that one, Thaylien. And the last one was Rugal, who attempted to go find Patlabor on Funimation, and it wasn't there either. So yes,
Weird.
please be careful. Yeah, so please be careful with the streaming services. We actually pull that, we scrape it from another website called Just Watch. If it's on there, it's on here. So if that's wrong, we're wrong. So we apologize for that. Yep, so that is it for the community responses. It's time for memes. Cool, so we have to manually do it because, we broke it.
Oh, why didn't that switch scenes? What do I need? I need to
go small. Go small.
Okay. Sorry, it's been a little broken, unfortunately.
All right, and then go back to the memes. No, just go back to the memes.
I think I need that
Oh
as
my
well,
god,
though.
press. I was just gonna say, yeah, fine. Right, now turn on your first one.
Yes. Good old Comey. Half of the universe means only 50 people to befriend. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I had to see that one. Okay,
This is a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Comey would never click her fingers.
Lol.
When you gotta spar with that idiot Kakarot at 9, but you wish to be prepared to dunk on the Namek at 5 a little later. Just sneaker boots.
What?
They look like Vegeta's boots.
Oh my god. Oh my dear god.
So you gotta beat up Kakarot and then go play basketball. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even realize what the fuck I was looking at. Dear God. Yeah. Okay.
Let me explain what happened to I was trying to introduce people to JoJo. Let me explain what happened to Jolene. Don't spoil me. I'm still on Giorno. You got to Giorno? I'm still on Jotaro. You guys made it past Arthur Jonathan? Very, very accurate.
Oh my God.
And then why is 4 not showing up?
I don't know. Did you hook it up?
Thought I did. Hang on.
Technical
Yeah,
difficulty.
there it is. Okay.
Is it the width thing? Pause.
Okay. Technical difficulties. So how can we popularize our anime really fast in like 1 to 2 episodes? Super powerful main character like Goku, super animation, or just make the female MC super lewd and cute with romance or eki genre. And he gets Employee of the Month.
Yep.
That's how that works. And then finally, as you know, already saw this one, unfortunately. World's End Harem. DxD fans, not impressed.
World's End Harem comes in, and the DxD fans are like, not impressed.
Yeah, so Superman's about to get hit with this, and he's just like,
Yeah.
His DxD fans
are like,
seem way worse.
Yeah. No, way better.
Way better.
As if it's like, you know, that they're going to be struck down and... Never mind.
But it's a different setting.
Just don't worry about it. Don't.
You can try like hentai fans, I suppose, on that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, Nasuth. Good job.
Okay.
Right, let's move on. Right, so my first one. My profile picture when I was 10, Call of Duty. Now, Hannah.
Kobayashi.
Yep. Number 2.
Oh my God! What the
fuck? I could not. Okay, there we go.
Is that actually from?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
No. The book, yeah, but adding in like the lines and
right, yeah.
No, I get the lines. Where's the book from?
It's some
like
Sleeping Beauty.
Arabic.
Must be.
Yeah,
that is amazing. That is a brilliant meme. That is brilliant.
Number 3. Yeah. Right. Okay. Non-weebs, the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and the Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah. Non-weebs, the Full Metal Alchemist live adaptation.
No.
This is the Charlotte.
Nasuth, have you seen Charlotte?
No.
That's a good one.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. That's. I don't know if that's a hidden. That should be counted for a hidden gem.
Right. My 4th one.
Sorry, Nasuth. Just want to point out. Sorry, I only watched Charlotte because this meme kept coming up on 10 o'clock. That meme format, and so I was like, okay, fine. I want to watch this anime, and I was like, Drew, you have to watch this anime.
Yeah. Right. This one I'm going to read it out to you. So the first panel, light user. Second panel, dark mode user. Right. So the dark mode user is like looking like really cringe at the light mode user. So, why are you staring at me like I'm a creature or something?
Because you are.
I'm not.
Light mode is the devil.
I'm not listening for this next one. Do it.
It's the Space Marine laws. It's Space Marin. I'm not sure myself.
Why dress up, darling?
Oh, right, of course. Right, of course. See, this is why I have to watch it to understand the memes, and they're gonna be just everywhere.
I don't know names. I don't know names.
You can see. Well, I mean, okay, fine. It's a bit small, to be fair. But like,
I was like, yeah.
I mean, if this worked, nice. you could have done that like.
No, it's brilliant though.
Shit, but...
No, I still wouldn't have got it. I don't know who it was, but I was just like, I've just chopped with the E. That's brilliant. It's so good.
just the cute anime girl head on the Space Marine body is enough.
Go to the memes. Go to the memes and hit. Oh no, yeah, you could just hit big people. That should work.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah.
Yay, that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So that is it for this week. Thanks everyone for listening. It's been a bit of a long episode, but that's what you get with the 3-episode rule. You get 3 hours.
Yeah.
Next week we have dub versus sub with Michelle. So Michelle play.
Hey, Michelle.
Right.
Hey.
Cool. So that. Yep. So we good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Kanpai!
Kanpai!
Never on time.